I've not cocked it up. Yes, for
You've
the
got
third
10.
time, I'm going to say the same thing. It's the World Cup's console edition special, and with me I have the PS4 big streamer Durrun, World Cup champion Guinness, and Xbox specialist Little Yoshi, and master of memes or memes, whatever you want to call it.
Class
Congratulations,
game. Thank
guys.
you.
I think I may have sorted out my issue at my end. Obviously, it had to be my fault.
We're so proud of you.
Thanks, guys.
Yay, Bernie! Woo!
Love you
Can
all.
everyone still hear
Let's
everyone
let
else?
everybody know that Bernie has an alternate PC choice this time.
Yeah, yeah. I think I deserve at least 10 subscriptions after sorting that out.
Bernie's got skills.
Yeah.
As long as you lost 15 beforehand, you deserve getting 10 back.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. So now I've stopped that messing up. Let's talk about the World Cup. First of all, Spartaco's out. Who saw that coming? Hands up, who saw that coming? Because I didn't see that coming. I know a lot of people
I
made
was so
predictions, but,
surprised.
I mean, I did see the replay on Jimmy's excellent stream. And he just proves to you, though, doesn't
Fantastic
he?
stream.
I gotta say,
Come on.
fantastic. Come on, man. Gotta say something different than that. But yeah, I was gobsmacked. I must admit, because everyone said about Spark. I mean, I had Andy Davo down as the best player, and I got told off for that. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, is Andy Davo good? Is he not? I don't know. But it was.
Andy Davo is a solid coach and streamer. Spartaco deserves the accolades because he's consistently at the top of the NAF, which is where all the good players would be if they came to BB2, but
Right.
you know, NAF coaches will tell you that they're so much better for a bunch of reasons, and I've watched them play at the Spike. They're hell on wheels to watch the game from.
Right. Because the thing is, with me not playing much on PC, I just go by what people say, and they say, no, he's the best NAF Dark Elf player, whatever that means. I presume that's pretty good. He's got his own personal co-announcer, hasn't he, Zung? So it must be a pretty big deal. But yeah, I must admit, I was really surprised to see Sparko go out. I really was.
Well, all I heard was he went out, obviously, from the pre-chat when we were setting up mics and stuff. But I've never heard of either of those two, if I'm honest. Interesting to hear like people say like, oh, what is it? The NAF thing's so much better than PC, when PC are always saying, oh, they're the top people. And so Spark's the next level up from PC. Is that where I am? Is that right?
Yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm just checking. I'm just telling chat that it's because it's quite late here, so that's why I'm not being very loud. Just basically my PC blew up, so I'm using my son's PC. What's in the games room? What's next to where the wife sleeps? So if I wake her up, I'm a dead man. So
Dun, dun, dun.
as people who watch my PS4 streams will know, when I do wake her up, we usually get the phone call. Yes, but anyway.
Only the Blood Bowl whisperer.
I know I have to be, else I'll be dead. I'd like to at least play one.
Just started moments ago for the third time.
What's that?
Drick was asking when to start.
Oh yeah. So anyway, enough of that. I just want to talk to Guinness. The first World Cup. When when going into the World Cup, did you think you had a good chance of winning it?
I assumed I was going to lose every single game.
Right.
Every time a new game came along, I assumed I was going to lose.
That's my strategy.
So when did you think you had a chance? There must have been some time in the competition you thought, hang on, I might go all the way here.
So just because they asked me this the first time I did the World Cup, when I started, I had been playing, or when I got to the World Cup, I've been playing 6 months. I only joined the World Cup qualifier because I wanted to join a second league. And as I started playing and I was doing well, I came really close to getting eliminated, and I beat one of my very good friends to win the second ticket that our league had.
Right.
And when I got matched against Jelliel, I heard he was this rock star Italian coach. And then I got matched against Bob152, and nobody knew who he was, and he was kind of a dick to me. But sore losing and salt happens. Then I ran into Sam Davies, who was a really good coach. And then I ran into Grish, who was one of the top Amazon coaches in the NAF. Then I ran into Spartaco, which is one of the top coaches, period, in the NAF. And then I ran into Malik, who was one of the top Skaven coaches in the NAF, and I was like, yeah. In the entire set of predictions that everybody made, one person said, I think you got a chance this game. But every other game, they told me I was going to lose, or told the viewers I was going to lose, and I agreed with them, and then managed to win every match out of that. I really never thought I had a chance.
Dude, you've only been playing 6 months. How did you do in the leagues you're in? Like the actual leagues rather than the World Cup?
I used to play in the USAB, which is USA Bloodwiser, and they're really awesome people, but they have a high chaos percentage. And I was playing Lizards, and I would consistently make it to the top division and feel like I was struggling against everything. And then I got tired of playing against Chaos, so I quit that league and I joined NATTS. And it was a restart every season league, and I really thought that was cool because it gave me a chance to try new ideas and new builds and the way I did things when I was TV1K. And then I joined Blood Bowl Tactics, and in all of those, I was consistently making it to the top of the ladder or the top of the division, but it didn't really tell me anything because I felt like every time I'd talk to coaches who were experienced, they'd say, oh, wait until you play better players before deciding how good you are. And I'm like, okay. I never really like having an ego about being a good player, so I just hope to death that I do well every single game, avoid embarrassing myself in the next one.
Yeah, I always think if you have a big ego or you try and say how great you are, then you set yourself up for a fall. I mean.
Yeah, the last thing I want to do is call myself fantastic. Hey, Jimmy.
To be fair, Bernie, it's very hard for a Canadian to say how good they are at anything.
Well, I'm not going to say nothing about that. I love the Canadians. I think the Canadians are lovely. They're always very nice people. So
we love you too.
I like the Canadians. You know, so hey.
High fives all around.
Yeah,
Come on.
absolutely.
Y5.
But how can I put this? When obviously when I was in the Invitational, obviously everyone didn't give me a chance against Shawnee. I beat Shawnee, and then obviously I beat Pupok, and then obviously beat Azawin. Do you just think if you're a console player, nobody's going to ever give you any respect? Because, you know, nobody fancied me against Shawnee. Basically, it was a buy for Shawnee. And then said, even Jimmy said, don't worry, Pupok will beat him. You know? But, you know, I think why us console players get a bit knocked off is because we never seem to get any sort of respect. It's basically the PC guys are far superior to the PS4 or the Xbox. I mean, do you agree with that, Guinness, or do you think it's a bit harsh, or?
Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest on this one because I think it's the best way to go.
Yeah.
When I saw the crap in chat, I personally looked up Bernie and apologized on behalf of the PC group because there are people who have much better attitudes and are less toxic than what I was seeing typed, said, or cast. So that's why I looked up Bernie to apologize on behalf of our community, because there's a lot of respecting PC coaches out there who are solid people who are willing to be nice to other people. In fact, almost every single league I'm in, when somebody's having, whether it's a tilt problem or they're new and they need some advice, there's always 5 or 6 people volunteering to help out. You usually get the pronounced and loud ones who are obnoxious, mean, cruel, or toxic just because it's the internet. There is no.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Jimmy's a good streamer. It was just sad that I had a lot of people message me saying, "Do not watch your game with Sean and Jimmy's." I
watched that game. I watched that.
I did too, and I was disappointed in the chat. Jimmy.
I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest. I mean, Bernie Buffoon, that's fucking childhood level. But other than that, it was a fairly even stream.
I think it was the without going. I don't want to make this into my show. It was. I think what it was is Jimmy did it neutral. It was just the comments in the obviously his chat. But the point I was making is, do console players get the level of respect, or are the PC guys riot?
I think the truth is, when it comes to it, and I'm pretty sure that Jimmy brought this one up at some point in one of his streams, it's a percentage thing. If there are 6,000 Blood Bowl coaches on PC
Yep.
and 500 on Xbox or PS4,
Mhm.
you're going to see a larger number of highly competent people in the PC crowd and less in the PS4 crowd. Now, if you expose yourself to the less capable people on either side, you're going to say, oh yeah, all PC players are rubbish or all PS4 players are rubbish. But if you put all of the best ones in a room together, then you're going to have a whole bunch of people who are just good Blood Bowl players, regardless of where they come from.
Xbox.
The racism is ridiculous.
Xbox.
Well, considering the 2 Xbox players got eliminated today, spoiler alert.
No, spoiler alert. But even so, even so,
Yeah.
exactly what you were saying. It's like smaller pool, but same percentage of good people within those pools.
Yeah, and again, to defend Jimmy, he was just going along with chat. He wasn't necessarily making any disparaging comments against console players.
I don't think he
may
went along
not
with the
have
cast.
dissuaded it.
I think he was
I
fine.
think he just-
think he was fine. I know Bernie was put up. Sorry, Bernie, it's not meant to be about this fucking thing. But I don't think Jimmy was that bad.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't think no one's bashing Jimmy for it all. I mean, nobody turned around to me and said it was Jimmy. They said he was toxic in the chat. I mean, it doesn't bother me. My point was the toxic in the chat because I was a console player, or was the toxic in the chat because I beat one of their favourites? Because obviously he's a big streamer, is Shawnee.
Honestly, everybody's always toxic when somebody beats their friend.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can go into any league and say, "Hey, how did you do?" Oh, that jackass beat me because he diced me.
Yeah.
Actually,
You're going to hear that every game, regardless of whether it's true or not.
Right.
saying that, like the PlayStation top players have probably got a lot more friends knocking about than the PS4 and Xbox players because we've got the smaller pool. So I mean, I know on Xbox we've got like a top 6, 7, 8. I'm number 4. Probably not, mate. Thank you, Guinness, but no. We've got like a top 6, 7, or 8 knocking about, and everyone like supports them, however well they do. In the PS4, I don't know how big the community is. I think it's a bit bigger than Xbox. Maybe a top 10, and there's 10 people supporting them. In the
Durrun banned for illegal links.
My
Oh, dear.
my wise
Probably.
just fans
I thought he was meant to be talking. And then on the PC, you've probably got like about a top 15, 20, but the community is so big that they've got a lot of friends. They've got a lot of people supporting them. So the chat's going to be toxic on the basis that they're, you support your mates, don't you? It's one of them.
Yeah.
Regardless of, I mean, I support my friends if they're good or bad at something. You're still going to say, "Oh, come on, mate, best of luck and whatever."
Yeah.
So it's probably just a size thing that
It's
you got a lot of spit because of just people want to see their mate do well and you ain't their mate.
You can follow mob mentality there too. I think it really comes down to the fact that it's just the human condition rather than any type of anything else. So.
Right. Okay. Let's get on with it. We've spent too much time on that.
And people are dicks. So.
Oh, I thought this was it.
That's the human condition. People are dicks.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Let's start with the Xbox. Now, I must admit.
Yeah, this won't take long.
I was.
Shots fired.
Okay, let me say this and you can all argue between yourselves.
Oh.
Okay, so who are the Xbox coaches?
We've got
That's a damn good question.
We've got Chelsea Zola, who is a very good World Elf player. He crashed out, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. The one what I was gobsmacked to see go out first round, and I was like, holy shit, Xbox are in trouble, is Gnome Slayer. Is it Bug Tugly he's known on the PC? I was gobsmacked he got beat, and he got beat pretty well by the Dark Elves. They've got Blade, who's a solid coach, and they've got Drick. I mean, Drick's their superstar. If Drick goes down first round, then they're fucked, basically. He is there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, you are. Let's be honest.
So there's Chelsea, there's Bud, there's Drick, there's any other ones?
Blade. I think that's it, isn't it?
Oh, Blade.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Is there anybody else, Little Yoshi, or is it just them 4?
I'm taking like 50% of you as
Me?
Yeah, 50%. You play Xbox and PS4, mate. I'm taking half of you.
You're taking half of me, okay? You can take
I'm
half
taking
of me.
half of you. I'm taking maybe 30% at best, but I'm taking a bit of you.
Okay. So I mean, the PC obviously they seem to really have a go at the Xbox more than the PS4. I think that's fair to say. And obviously half their team is out after the first two games. What's not good. I mean, I just don't know where what to start. I mean, how disappointing is it, Little Yoshi, that two of you guys are out already? Because obviously you must have thought that they'd done quite well, that they got through. I think Chelsea's was a bit of a dicing, although the way the game ended wasn't great. Um, and I didn't really see.
I only saw half of Chelsea's game. I saw
That's
maybe
because there was only half of Chelsea's game.
no, or maybe saw a quarter of it. I saw like a bit of the first half. I saw when it was a bit of the play around when it was 0-0, and they were still sort of testing each other out a bit. And there was some unlucky armour breaks, but that's the game.
Yeah,
that's the game.
especially
I mean,
Ruby
in
said.
playoff, that's the game. Chelsea's an absolutely amazing wood elf coach.
Yeah.
So
Every
is what it is.
every time I
Is
see,
what it is.
every time I see Chelsea play, he always seems to get horrendous bad armour breaks against him. He always has half his team off the pitch. Not that it's his fault. It just seems like every time I see him play against somebody else, the other guy always gets all the rolls. You know?
So it's Bernie's fault for showing up.
Probably, yeah. Probably. Blame me. I don't
But
care.
To be fair, though,
did you tip him, Bernie?
didn't he leave his leader piece wide open to be blitzed right off the hop?
Yeah.
He did. However, it was the leader or a war dancer, so take your pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's just the fact the casualty came out of the first blitz that you got to give credit or fault against that.
Yeah.
Well, that's dice. That's dice.
Mhm.
And I mean, you said yourself you put the leader up there rather than the war dancer.
Yeah.
And I think anyone would.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's dice. That's dice.
Yeah. I mean, I think
He could have collapsed his size a little bit and protected it, but he was playing a regular concept.
The way I think Chelsea plays is he likes to cage dive, and at no point did his opponent cage. His opponent was doing a bit of a sort of a spread thing and trying to push up the field with
Wenteros is
options.
very good at the screen plan.
Yeah, exactly. He was screening and pushing up rather than trying to cage and build that way. And I know that Chelsea had said his team was built to cage dive, so without a cage to dive into.
You see, I
don't know. It makes it a bit more of a fucker to. Sorry, pardon me.
It's okay.
Makes it a bit more difficult to break through that and to play your game plan if they're not playing the plan you expect to defend against.
I mean,
One thing I kind of want to point out is that on turn 6, Wenteros literally went back to almost the beginning half of his field to protect the ball. He put it completely out of range, considering he knew that the situation was, hey, I could get cage dived here.
Yeah.
So he made the right call perfectly by moving back, staying out of the way, and waiting for the side to clear.
Yeah. So Robin strats all day.
Yeah, it worked out for him. He played a better game, considering the casualty dice came in.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I wasn't impressed with Wentros at all. I wasn't impressed with him at all. I just thought Chelsea made a few wrong calls. It was hard because obviously he was down players. He should have took that catch off next to the tree. That was the obvious thing to hit. And he could have screened it a bit better. I'm not saying Wentros is a bad player. I just thought, yeah. I think against someone like Drick, he would have been in a whole world of trouble. That's no disrespect to Chelsea. It's just Drick wouldn't have let him do what he did. So Wentworth got through. But I don't know. I just thought the amount of removals were bad. But again, the game's basically been talked to over the concede because like a concede, wasn't he? Had 5-10s to go. Yes, he was 2-0 down, and he just ended 10 for the 5-10s. I don't know what the Xbox people thought about it. All I can tell you in the PS4 community, fuck me, they was going bonkers, absolutely bonkers. The PS4 guys are usually pretty passive. But there's a few of the guys, I'm not going to name names, but there's a few guys in the community on the Illuminate
Oh, come on,
chat as
name
well.
names. Come on, name names.
They was
Come
not
on.
happy. They're
Come
saying,
on.
No, it's better not to.
no. They
It's
were,
more fun too, though, isn't it?
yeah, it might be.
I'm never happy.
Yeah, but they were saying,
I'm a salty fucker, mate. I ain't
they
gonna lie.
was basically saying, PS4 coaches, you better not fucking do what you just did. The console players are already getting enough shit, and this is just giving more ammunition. So, on the flip side, you can say, well, it doesn't really matter because it's a res tournament, so no one's getting XP, no one's getting any extra cash. So he just basically gave up and sped away, so there's no big deal over it. So I don't know, but it's a shame that people are talking about the concede more than the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the game was over. The game was over.
It wasn't over.
It was over.
There's 5 turns to go.
No, but if he's lost
Okay.
if he's
Let
lost
me slow you down there.
confidence, then the game is over, isn't it?
The
If
thing
he
is,
doesn't think he can score once,
from a high quality coach, you don't want to see that kind of tilt.
No.
You really want to see somebody who, even if you've got 5 turns left, you are Wood Elves. You could, given the right dice, score 2 touchdowns. So if you'd rolled
4
them,
players
and the
down.
opponent,
4 players down.
it's still possible.
It's Wood Elves.
I can't count the number of times I have rolled a 3-die triple skull. It happens. So, if you play, there's a chance. If you don't play, there's no chance.
Yeah.
I'll give that, but at the same time,
That's all that I'm saying.
I've conceded out of a CCL on the basis that I tilted, and I'm a tilter. Bernie will tell you, I am a tilter. And I'm not saying that that's what happened with Chelsea at all.
It's okay. I used to aim for every windmill, but now it's just I find that I have whiskey nearby. I take a drink. I talk to a friend in the meantime. The game goes a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably helps to win a $10,000 match.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, everything is nothing. But the truth is, if there's a chance and it's important, try it. If it's not important to you, I can understand why you quit. And there's a lot of other people who thought it was important. That's why they're getting angry. So you got to give Zola credit. His priorities might not have been the same as the PS4 coaches who were angry about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he decided he didn't think he was going to do it. Despite even if he had amazing dice, I think he thought it's not going to be a thing. Because I've seen him do stupid stuff with Woodies repeatedly.
I would have looked at that, said 0.04 chance, but let's give it a go anyway.
Yeah.
True story versus Woodies. 4 left on the pitch, 3 turns to go. They had no rerolls. I had a full orc team, and I lost. So don't tell me Woodies can't come back.
Yeah, and the other thing as well.
Everyone's got that forwarders on the pitch story where they won, but there's everyone who's got that story has got fucking 50 stories.
I've never won one with 4 Woodies left on the pitch, but I've been beaten by it.
That's what I'm saying. I've been beat by it. I don't play Wood Elves.
All right, you've been beaten by it once, however many times. But I reckon however many times you've been beat by it, or once, then you've beat them many more times. Those
of
4
course,
Woodies.
but the thing is,
they kicked the fuck out of them.
The thing is, wouldn't it be cool if the one time that it happened for him was in the World Cup in first round?
Yeah,
it'd be great, but I mean,
I understand.
It's a psychological thing. You know what I mean? Part of it is I've said already. I'm a tilter.
Yeah, fully accept. No fault entirely. It's just people had different priorities there.
Yeah.
If you ever watch my stream, people watch me go full tilt. I bitch, I moan, I scream, I complain. But I still play the game to the very end as long as I think I can win.
Yeah.
I'm totally going to watch you stream more often now.
But you play the game badly if you're tilting though. So you ain't going to
win. I still win though. See, I still keep playing. In the back of my head, my brain's still turning, right? Even though nothing but crap's coming out of my mouth, my brain's still turning, right? The hamster's still running, so I'm still trying to win.
Okay,
Durrun, I'm going to watch you more often now.
That sounds awesome.
All I'm going to say is, Arswin, 4-time PS4 champion, was 2-0 down against Wood Elves after 2 turns, and he pulled it back to 2-2. But my point is, 2 turns, 2 touchdowns. He was 2 touchdowns down. The Wood Elves, I think, had one reroll, and that was it, wasn't they? Westeros only had 1 reroll.
Regardless, we all know that it was a possibility, but an unlikelihood.
Well,
that's what it comes down to.
It
Oh
depends
no,
on,
we're talking
depends
15,
on, depends
20%
on your
chance. We're
mindset.
talking
And I
low.
mean, it depends on your mindset. And I know Chelsea, and I don't think he would have jacked it
Yeah.
in lightly.
He was not ready to play the rest of that match.
No.
Yeah, and yeah, I think because part of going, when you go down or when you lose a touchdown like turn 8 and 1-turn touchdowns and all that sort of shit, all that sort of stuff is it sort of upsets you a bit mentally as well, and maybe that's where he was, or but in some way he had, I'm not going to win this. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, he was right in that
And
situation.
that's part of the game, is breaking the other player. Not just breaking them in terms of it's not possible, breaking them in terms of they've given up on the possibility.
Yeah, I mean, Spartaco, amazing player. I had him in the World Cup semifinals, and I had an entire turn that was failure after 1 in 9, after bonehead, and then I just clicked on a skink, clicked on the ball, clicked on the end zone. 17%, 30 with the reroll chance, got it. I'm pretty sure Spartaco's broken right there. Because after that, he made a bunch of other mistakes.
Yeah, God, yeah. I mean, I play Orcs. That's my
And
main.
he did not deserve
my
that
main
shitty
team.
play to have happen to him, but it did.
And I love an Orc thrower, and I love playing the throw play, and I love
Best piece in the game.
I love a 60 plus, 50-50 dodge. I'll go for at sometimes. Just go for it. Fuck it. But at the same time, sometimes I get salty as hell and raid concede.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. It's all in there.
Such is life.
Right, let's have a look at the two Xbox coaches who are still in the competition. Let's have a look at Essex Sabres. This is Blade's team. He's gone for human. So I don't know if you can get that anyone who can get that up. It's on
That's a good choice.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I have it on my sheet.
Right, okay. So, first of all, Jimmy Fantastic calls this the Arzo build because this is what Arzo used in the Invitational. He's got obviously 3 guard pieces, a mighty blow, tackle piece, and a block on the ogre. Interestingly, he's named one Bernie, named one Cass, same as Durrun. For some bizarre reason, Bernie and Cass together.
It's the eternal love affair. It has to continue.
It has to be, hasn't it?
I'm not named on any of these teams. Bunch of motherfuckers. No one is it. Bernie, I'm on your team, Bernie.
I haven't got any coaches apart from Shoney, 18. I felt bad knocking Shoney out, so I put him as my ogre.
You should.
But
Carry on.
right, I'll go to Durrun first, so we can get some chat from Durrun. What do you think of this team? Do you like it? Will you change anything about it, or?
Oh, me? Sorry. It's almost. Sorry, somebody was singing out in the hallway. I was like, "What's going on?"
I wondered what that was, Jason.
I was just gonna say this is my human build, except I would go guard on the ogre. I would forego the double.
Really? See, I don't know. I mean, Jimmy's the same, and Jimmy said he'd have guard on the ogre, and I don't know. I just think I'd be scared to use him if he didn't have block.
Well, that's just it. I'd be scared to use a period. So why give him block and put it in your head that I could have the ogre throw a block and then he boneheads and everything falls apart.
Yeah,
if he just stands there with guard, he's always doing work, right?
Yeah, I mean, Guinness. What do you think of this team? Can you think of? I mean, are you?
So my counterpoint to that is, the reason I have a Croxigore is rarely to blitz or block. It's to stay there and tie up 2 to 3 people.
Yeah.
Now, if I have block on it, it means some jackass with block can't roll a red die and go, hey, I'm gonna get away with this. That's why I put block there, because he's much more valuable.
Yeah.
As a retention piece. He can have guard and he can be effective.
Yeah.
But if you look at the build situation that the game has, 3 guard on any team is going to make them almost superior to every other team guard-wise or blocks until you separate those guards, and then they're less effective. So at the beginning of every setup, 3 guards are going to win you every LOS combat.
Yeah.
So having a 4th one on the ogre won't change anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But
later in the game, maybe.
To be fair, though, the ogre has a belly, not a tail.
Yeah. So people are less afraid to dodge away from the ogre. So block could be considered less important on him. But I still value it in the fact that -2 block against no block. Generally, a lot of coaches are going to take that.
Yeah. A lot of people throw red dice though.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I wouldn't throw a red die block unless I had no option against a block ogre, but I'd definitely throw a red die block against no block ogre, no problem. And the way I look at it is like, you've only he's got mighty blow, so to me, if I can and it doesn't risk my team, I want him to hit. And with him having block, there's more chance of him knocking something down, getting removals, and less chance of turnover. So, and he was having a block ogre was one of the reasons why I went humans, because I just thought I've got big strength 5 piece, I'm gonna have guard around it, and obviously I've got a mighty blow tackle piece here. So I really like the way he's done this, because my team's exactly the same as this, and as a win, I know he's done the same.
Honestly, I think this is just the meta setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be
for
fair,
round
I'm not
one
saying
game.
block is terrible. I just prefer guard.
No,
I think
I'm
you
not
have a
sure-
valid opinion right there.
I'm not sure of taking an ogre on humans.
why?
Oh, you have to.
Because the advantage of humans is they've got thrower, catcher, they've got blitzers, they've got positionals, and they can do the adaptive game. And so if you're going to take a bunch of guard, then you don't need a big strength piece, because everyone else can do the punching, because you've got the guard pieces to just go and support that and make it good punches. So I don't get an ogre on that team. You could have an extra reroll, and then a lineman could be thrown in a punch or something. I don't know.
I feel like the ogre adds a lot to the human team, especially say he ran up against orcs or humans, or sorry, lizards or undead. That ogre is really going to save his bacon on those ones.
Maybe undead. Yeah, maybe undead. Okay.
So.
Okay. So let's have a look at the team he's going to go against. It's going against, I mean, you might be able to help us on this, Guinness, because I don't know the coach. It's going against Franco Bold Stars. Silsey, I think is the name of the coach, and they're undead, so they have 2 strength 5 mummies, so I think it's a good job he did get the ogre. And they have just a 1 guard, 1 tackle, and 2 blodge ghouls. Have any of you guys got this up yet?
Yeah, I got it up. Is this the opponent for the just saw?
Yeah, the Frankable Stars.
Yeah. So we'll go to Durrun first. Do you?
I was on the fence about taking undead, and my build was similar. It's just only I had double guard on the whites, and I had a wrestle white instead of 2 blodgers. So against the humans in particular, I don't like his chances.
Yeah, I must admit, it was undead or humans for me. I really couldn't decide between them. In the end, I was more worried about elves with undead, so I went humans. Regarding this, he's got 2 blodgers, what's alright. I know a lot of people like a blood sure-handed ghoul, and I've seen others take guard on the mummies. Guinness, do you know who this coach is?
Yeah, Silse is one of the Quebecois coaches who's in the league.
Right.
Quebec, as a whole, in my opinion, you're generally going to see a lot of dwarves, chorfs, undead coming out of them. They're very bashy oriented in their leagues. It sounds like I actually know a lot, but I'm just very good friends with Mr. Light, a couple of the other people from Quebec, because I attempted to play in a league because my French is not that bad.
Right.
But eventually I just got irritated at having to use Google Translate for the stuff that I didn't understand to schedule the match.
Right.
However, when I joined with Lizards, everybody was kind of mixed feelings, because I played against, I think, 5 dwarves in my introduction match, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Well, the obviously, you know, the tipping, they've got Blade 60% and Silsey 40%, so it's slightly in favour of Blade.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's not too bad. Little Yoshi, do you fancy your boy to get the Xbox off to a winning start?
I'm blindly going to say yes, mate. I don't even know how you ask a question. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. I don't like undead. It's not a team I like. Maybe in res they're okay, but
In res, they're generally a really good format. It's hard to remove them.
It's not a team. But
They-
if a mummy goes, a mummy goes, and that's it.
For sure. If you take tracked games, humans have a very, very low win percentage against undead. In fact, undead have a 53% win rate against humans in tournament style.
Oh, that's not very low. Sorry, that's like 53. Is no.
Well,
That's-
considering you've got 25% win for humans and 25% draws, you're looking at undead consistently outperforming humans in an NAF tournament format.
I don't know.
However, considering the builds,
I'm still going with my boy. I'm still going with
Yeah.
my boy.
I think this game is going to come down to where the mummy gets used up, and where the ogre gets used up, and whether the mummy mash happens or not.
I think Blade's going to be able to take the mummies away from the action and keep them sort of pissing about on the sideline doing not much. They can punch,
Well,
but
On
whatever.
on Blade's half, I'm going to cross my fingers that he can manage to do that, but on Silse's behalf, I'm going to cross my fingers that the mummies can do the work they need to do.
Who are you going for? Who are you going for?
Well, being Canadian, I feel somewhat
Why do you have
obligated to
caveat
support the
everything? You don't have to
nationality,
caveat everything with being Canadian. It's all right. It's fine.
but I'm just saying it's a national pride thing. We'd like to However, I would really like to see one of the Xbox coaches stay in, and this is one of the better matchups that they've had the opportunity of.
Yeah. I think it comes down to if I'm Blade, I'm trying to take out them ghouls as quick as I can.
And having that tackled mighty blow, which was originally intended for elves going after the ghouls, I think that'll make a big difference. It'll really come down to how much Blade protects those blodge ghouls and how much damage the mummies do early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I threw up Cecil's stats in the chat too from BZL's cheat sheet. If you're curious to look at those.
Yeah.
It's 57% with undead, then at 53% win rate overall on champs, but not a big sample size.
So okay, so I'm gonna ask you all who wins the game. So Guinness, you've gone for your guy.
I think Silse's got this, sadly.
And obviously we know
Sadly.
Yoshi's,
Oh, bless. Oh, thank you.
Yoshi's obviously going for his boy. Durrun, you're the guy who doesn't really have a say.
I picked Blade.
You
I
picked
picked Blade. Picked the human team.
So they go 2-on-1. So
Big up.
obviously
Big up.
the humans. I don't. It's always hard for me because I look at this and you think Blade. Oh man, if he uses his guard right, he uses his mighty blow right, he should be all right. But
Well, if you tune in about an hour or two before right now, tomorrow, you'll be able to see it live.
oh, is that when it is? Well, we'll see.
Yes.
Who's streaming?
I'm sure somebody will. If Jimmy or VG can't, I'll do it.
Cool.
So.
All right. Sounds
Okay, so
There's
Sorry,
32
you say
games.
choose in,
They're not all going to get streamed on there.
right then. So what does he call himself on this bloody game? Right.
Normally, I just co-host streams, but if there's nobody doing a match this season, I'll be doing them for the World Cup.
See, I don't really stream much. Bernie just drags me into things, and I'm grateful that he does. Apparently, I talk sense.
You make me laugh.
Hey, sweet. Hello. I've got so I'd love to stream a game. I've never actually streamed a game. I've always just done the magazine shows. So I'd love to stream a game if anyone wants to invite me.
There you go.
There's my advert. There's my advert. There you go.
There you go. Good stuff. Right. So let's go to the Pinup Boy, the Messiah, whatever you want to call him, the main hope for the Xbox, Drake. He's the current champion of the Xbox. He's also done very well on the PC as well. And
I was going to say, he has played PC a while, hasn't he?
yeah, it's a funny one because I said at the beginning I was hoping Gnome Slayer would do quite well because I thought he was their next best chance of going deep because I thought if Drick won everything, the PC lads will claim that Drick's one of theirs who went to the Xbox with easy money.
No.
No, but that's actually, that's basically
No.
That's backwards.
But,
No. He started off as our boy, and then he came to playing your playground.
That's pretty cool.
either way, maybe I'm playing devil's advocate, but this
I've
is the way
tried to
I'm
play in
thinking.
your playground and I got stomped. So
Whatever. He was the first one in the draft to be picked. He's right at the top. So,
There you go.
what do you guys think?
Drick's a class act. He's great with Wood Elves. He's a class act. I remember him beating Jimmy Fantastic on the PC quite easily. I think Jimmy ended up conceding. He's just good. He's just a class act. He's as good as any PC coach I know. And I remember him saying he wanted Andy Davo. He wanted to play Andy Davo. I think he wanted to take out Andy Davo quite early on. Drick's just that good. I mean, he's good with any other race, but when he plays Wood Elves, he's just insane. The only concern is obviously, like Drick's already said, is last time the World Cup came round, he went out first round. We've just seen Spartco get diced, and that's probably going to be Drick's worry about obviously getting diced.
And we've just seen Chelsea take like 4 injuries in the first 4 turns.
But you see, I think
although Drick's got an apoth, which I don't think Chelsea had.
But
He did not.
But Drick, I think, could have played that better, and that's not bashing Chelsea. I think Drick could have handled that a lot better. I mean, Drick was in Chelsea, no, do this, do this, do this, and you could tell what Drick was trying to do and pressurising, and I don't know. I think Drick could have done it.
I'm pretty sure if you watched Drick play that game, he would have pressured the ball much earlier.
Yeah, especially when everyone reroll. I think But I mean, let's have a look at this team. Durrun, I'll let you start off again. If you've got, I don't know if you've got the team up there.
Yeah, looks like your regular cancer tumors team.
Yeah.
They have a little kick though. That's it's interesting. I actually am surprised there's not more kick on the fast teams, because that could be a giant advantage off of kickoffs, right?
Yeah.
Surprised I haven't seen more of it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just going to add it later after the first couple rounds, but kick could be a huge difference maker as this thing goes on.
Yeah, I must admit, I agree with the 2 builds of the Wardansers, strip ball and tackle. It's really, really good.
Well, those are mandatory, right? If you don't take those, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. And then leader on the throw. Well, yeah, I could see that would be popular, because obviously a lot of these builds only have the 1 reroll. So in my opinion, even though you Wood Elves, you want at least 2 rerolls. I don't know. I think it's an alright build. It's a typical Wood Elf build. Guinness, do you have anything to say about this build? Anything you like or dislike?
So if we're just talking about Drick's build, I really think that tackle and strip ball are standard issue picks that if anybody, again, I'm going to match Durrun. If anybody failed to pick those, they're playing the wrong team. I think seeing kick, I completely agree. I would have liked to see kick on more Wood Elf teams, because I think it's almost an integral skill.
Yeah.
But again, non-experienced Wood Elf coach here. I'm playing them for the first time in one of my leagues next season.
Right.
Because I just want to give it a shot. But I've seen Drick play a few games. I'm pretty sure at some point I faced him in the ladder, and I'm pretty sure I cursed once or twice about the game. Couldn't tell you how it went, because my memory's not that good right now. But
if you cursed, was it well?
I'm pretty sure that the reason I curse is whether I get bad rolls or my opponent gets bad rolls that decide the game. I like to see a more even-keeled game, because I think then it's a lot more fun, rather than just having somebody get a cast factory.
Yeah.
But I've seen Drick play. I was really shocked. I watched his game from the original World Cup, and I was disappointed to see him go out first round. I thought he was much more accomplished. It's hard to say that he was better than his opposing coach, but I thought in that game there was a few decisions that his opponent made that he got away with because of the dice.
Right. Which was the coach? What knocked him out? Do you know? Can you remember?
Give me 2 shakes and I will look up the details. I have it here somewhere.
I'm sure Drick will know if you don't. But yeah, I think Drick playing Wood Elves is one of the best I've ever seen or played against. His position is excellent. You know, and he does get a knack of getting defense blitzes. What it always helps when you're a Wood Elf coach.
And his record on the Xbox with Wood Elves this season, 20-0-0.
Yeah, he's good.
Just food for thought. His PC record Wood Elves is an 80% win rate at 82, 12, and 16.
Well, On Xbox is 100% at the moment. Like, flat out 100%, 20 games, 100% win rate. Which, if anyone gets that on PC, fair play. But yeah, that's just fucking mental.
Think about that 80% win rate with Woody's on PC, well over 100 games played. It's crazy.
Really? Wow, over 100 games. Wow.
In
Okay.
CCL, I consider any of those a bad call. So it was funny that I had to look this up. Drick's opponent was Balsha, better known as Bucky, or Bucky Always Lucky. I'm pretty sure there was, for the first 3 matches, at least 2 of them, Bucky cursed his opponent to have a 1 in 36 blitz on the carrier that he let potato down the field when he was playing his dwarves. And sure enough, they came up 1 in 36s, and it might have been 2 in a row. I'd have to look it up back in the day. But yeah, we called him Bucky Always Lucky for making it to the top 8.
That's how I play the game. That's
Well, if you can't be good
So-
enough.
that's like standard numbers.
Yep.
Standard luck. 1 in 36.
So yeah, I can
That's fine.
understand why I might have thought that at the time.
Right, so let's have a look at his opponent then. It's Zeke. I can't think-
Stringer Bell
Yeah. How good is
with the
Stringer Bell?
Zeitgeist.
All Stars. How good is this coach? Do you know Guinness? Do you know him well?
So it's funny you ask. Stringer Bell is basically, as far as I'm concerned, my nemesis when it comes to Blood Bowl. We started in the NATTS. He's the reason I left the league, and I'll leave all the drama behind. But I left a league because of this man. I'd never played a game against him to this day where I got less than 5 casualties scored against me, and all I scored was KOs.
Mm-hmm.
I recently beat him for the first time with a team that had 600 to 700 TV up on him, and he still caused 5 casualties, and all I caused was KOs. And he complimented me for being gracious about winning, despite the fact that I was up 700 TV.
Right.
Stringer Bell and I will never get along, and I have tried and I have failed. And I'm pretty sure at some point he tried and failed. But he's a solid coach. He makes a lot of good decisions, makes a lot of impulsive decisions, but I watched him beat Scum, who is he's probably the NAF's Rockstar Goblin coach, or at least that's what a lot of people bill him as, and I agree with them because I've watched him play Goblins and go, I think 5-1-1 in the Spike tournament one year. Like, he's just crazy with Goblins. And I watched him make brilliant plays and retrieve the ball from Stringer Bell in a playoff game, and then Stringer Bell make a really weird play, get a casualty, and then put himself back on the ball, and then Scum would make another brilliant play and completely protect the ball, and Stringer Bell would roll dice and get there. The first time I actually saw Stringer Bell lose a game was the 3rd round of the World Cup last year, where his opponent got more casualties than he did, and he was just stuck. So
I mean,
I have compliments for him as a coach.
Yeah.
I have detracting comments that I will keep to myself for him as a person. However,
No,
keep
come
in
on,
mind,
come on,
he and I have a
come on.
rivalry.
Share. Come on.
Oh, no. It has no business being on stream. I have tried to keep this dead and buried so I can let it get gone.
We'll keep it for later, and then it'll be
Exactly.
on the
However,
it'll be on the outtake show.
when it comes right down to it, I put Drick as my pick to win.
all
I
right.
think that the build was built to destroy AV9 teams. If you take a look at the way he set it up, there's block and mighty blow on one of the wolves, which is a solid choice because it can hit anything and consider it AV7 with
6.
mighty blow against it. Yeah, technically AV6 after the mighty blow, but I prefer to say AV7 with mighty blow.
Yeah.
And then he's got wrestle on the other werewolf, which I thought was unusual, but I mean, I can certainly argue for it.
I get that.
Guard on one flesh golem, which I think is a practical choice. I think that every romantic team should have one guard fleshy. And the fact that then he took, oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong team. Yeah, no, there it is. Tackle on one white and block on a ghoul. I really would have liked to see another ghoul with the skill. I know he had to take tackle on something to deal with Woodies,
Yeah.
but I think he's made an aggressive toxic removal build. And I think it would work better if there was a lot more AV9 teams out there.
Yeah, I actually like this build for taking on Wood Elves. He's got his Mighty Blow block piece. You know, I agree with you. It's probably better against AV9, but the wrestle piece on the Wolf could be an inspired choice against Wood Elves. And the white fake news, great name. With tackle, I like that. Obviously, he's got no show hands, so that's the worry. That's the major worry.
He only got one tackle though.
Yeah, but the thing is, you only get so many skills, and
Yeah, he only got 6, and he went for, like I said, his primary was considering removal from teams, which is the Mighty Blow block.
yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is, Mercy Flush said in chat that he entered 12 qualifiers. He lost in the final on 6 of those, and he qualified on his last attempt. So he has no problem getting to a final. So this guy is obviously very good. I mean, I would have picked Drick, just because I know who Drick is, but I think this game could be a lot harder than I thought. Because by what you're saying about what's saying in chat, this Stringer's no back number is obviously a very good player, and if he's one of those coaches who just roll his Kaz dice are amazing, then even the great Drick might have a problem if he's only got 3-4 players left.
Every coach can be that coach on the day.
Yeah, but some are more consistent than others, I think, you'll find.
No. No one's more consistent on rolling casualty dice. We like to think some people are, but I mean, calcium cast. But I mean, no. At the end of the day, no. Everyone gets the same dice.
Bernie's just trying to avoid waking up his wife.
Yeah,
just so everybody knows.
Serious just is.
Do we need to? Hang on. How can we make this louder on our end?
You're fine. You lot are fine. It's me who's talking.
I know, but if I speak really loudly,
Well,
how loudly do I need? How loud do I need to get?
We can all talk like we're trying not to wake up somebody.
I know, but it all feels like we're having a bit of a sexy talk and everyone's listening. It's just a bit weird now. I'm not comfortable with this. We're having a four-way.
How often are you ever comfortable?
Who was that? They got a bit too quiet.
That's Durrun.
They were like the voice in my fucking head then. What was going on?
The laugh is like an old man or a raspy dog. It's got to be Durrun. Although I can do that laugh too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's because I'm old.
Saves just.
No, you're not alone, Durrun. We're all old, mate.
Okay, so back to the game.
Yeah. I was just supposed to say Saves just knows from the old days when they used to stream downstairs and the phone would ring, and it was the missus saying, "You've woke me up, you bastard." So. Yeah.
Your missus talks like that as well.
Well,
Jesus,
like
that's
that.
Weird, mate. That's that would freak me right out.
Yeah, well, there you go. You see, that's why I'm quiet, because she freaks me out. Anyway, back to the game. So we'll go around the chat. Who wins? Durrun, who wins this game?
Well, since you were so nice to ask me my thoughts on Stringer Bell, I'll share them. I played him 3 times in the qualifiers, by the way. I played him 3 times. My ticket win was against Stringer Bell in ICBBL. That's where I got my ticket.
Bravo.
He's an orc specialist, so while I'm not surprised to see he's not playing orcs due to the format.
I'd have orcs all day in this format.
Well, the 4 skills is rough to start, but I love the Wrestle Wolf. This was actually my build, more or less, except I was going to possibly go with no bench and 3 rerolls, and the 2 guard fleshies instead of the tackle white. But I love the idea of the Wrestle Wolf, the rangy guy who can just take down any ball handler or elf. And then you get a kill with the Mighty Blow tackle guy, and then you get zombies to foul with, right? But he's super solid. Like I said, the first game I played him, he got 8 armor breaks, and 5 of them were casualties. Mm-hmm. I got 3, and they were all stunts. Yeah,
high five.
It's not hard to say how that game went, but yeah, I managed to go again when he got in casualty trouble in the final match I had with him in ICBBL. He ran into trouble. I was able to control him after that once I got ahead. I actually got the casualties for once and I was able to take him down. But Yeah, and speaking of picks, I'll transition right into that. I actually did pick Stringer Bell because I don't know much about you, Dirk. I'm sorry, but I do know this guy is super good with Bash. So ignore his Necro record on CCL. He's very good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't disagree with that at all. Guinness, do you say you're with Drick?
So I am with Drick out of principle. I think Stringer Bell has a solid chance at this. Don't get me wrong. He, again, solid coach, makes a lot of good decisions. If he's ever down players, he loses track of the game very well.
Right.
It's like a different game to him, and it's like he's speaking the wrong language. But Stringer Bell is a solid coach who knows how to roll cash dice.
Can you translate that to English for me? Sorry. If he's down players, he loses track of the game. What does that mean?
So if he's down players, he tilts a little bit.
Oh, okay.
He gets distracted. He has trouble focusing. The one game I remember watching him being down players, he was really just. It's like he was lost. But that's the only game I've ever seen him down players.
Do you think that's
so?
Do you think
Oh, go watch my ICBBL final, Guinness. You can watch him be down players again.
Hey, you send me a link. I will watch that and delight in it. Hey, Stringer. It's nice to hear from you, Bell, even though you're not here.
I want to play these videos later, by the way.
Just
not
the thing is, I find Stringer's attitude just normally makes me want to avoid hanging out with him or watching him. And like I said, I left a league to avoid him.
If you had to call him a nasty swear word, what nasty swear word would you go for?
Oh man, let me think on that and get back to you because I'm pretty sure I'd have to invent one.
No. You've got like 2 minutes.
It's okay. My usual comment about somebody like that is an asshat or fucktarded.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like asshat. Okay. Cool.
Because if you wear your ass as a hat, I mean, you're just an asshat. Anyhow,
yeah,
I really think
think
that Stringer still has a solid chance at this game, but considering I like Drick's build and I like the way I've seen him play, I'd like to see him win. And again, on principle, I'd also like to see him win, so I voted for Drick.
Right, okay, that was a long way around, but yeah, okay.
I said it before, but then I got interrupted with questions.
You know what Yoshi's like? He likes to get in there.
Yeah, okay.
He likes to use swear words on stream.
He does.
I fuck?
We know who
Sorry.
We know who Yoshi's going for. We know who Yoshi's going for.
Who's my man? Stringer Bell.
You guys are saying about obviously he doesn't like you when it's down numbers. Do you think that's the reason why he's gone for 13 players? Because he's got 2-man bench.
He went for 13 players so he can also foul.
Right. Yeah.
I was about to say exactly the same. It's got to be a foul game.
Yeah.
He likes fouling, and he's decent at using it.
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
A lot of players were saying they were thinking of quite low AV builds. A lot of players were saying Wood Elves. So yeah, an extra player or two to just stick a boot in, even without dirty player, is a nice thing to do. To be fair.
And somebody in chat did mention, and I agree. I really do like the team name, or the team theme.
Yeah, I just don't like that Me Too shite. All I hear is
that's
me too,
because it's zeitgeist.
Me too, me fucking too. All I hear over here is me too. It is my fucking head in.
I'm so glad I never hear that crap.
Oh, God, it does my head in.
Thank you, Durrun.
There's quite a few good ones there, Russian Hacker. I love that. But yeah, this is a tricky one now. I'm still going to go with Drick because he's my man. So I'm going to go with Drick, but I think this is going to be tricky.
All day, every day.
Drick has said, he's probably saying Captain Obvious here, but Drick says, the way I win this game is I turn him over on his drive and then he wins the game.
That's how it works.
So 2-1 grind.
There you go. So that's that one. So that's the 2 Xbox coaches done. This only took us about 3 hours. Right. Okay, let's get on to the good old PS4.
I'm going to go for a smoke, Bernie.
You go for a smoke.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
We'll talk
I'll
about
I'll
We
reenact
should
myself.
be able to
live.
finish the chat in that time without you.
Thank you. Thank you. At least I'm entertaining. I might talk shit, but at least I'm entertaining. I'm very sorry. Pardon me. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, whispering,
I'm
Bernie.
gonna
See you in a
go.
bit.
I'm gonna go to whichever one I can find first. Mr. Marvel, right?
Guinness, since you can post in Bernie's chat, why don't you put the link for the
Oh,
challenge
all you do
bracket?
is put a space in the www and somewhere in the first thing, and then you can post it in. Because all I did was put spaces in it.
Okay. Right. Next one.
Bashbinder taught me to abuse his bot.
Yeah, abuse him. Right. So let's have a look at the PS4 coaches. At the moment, we're all still in. So yay, go PS4.
Congratulations.
We haven't played a game, but you know, it doesn't matter.
Can't lose any of the games you don't play.
No, and we are guaranteed one PS4 guy into the next round because two of our guys are
Two,
playing
Bernie.
together.
Two.
Two. Why? Who are you playing?
I'm playing Amazons. I'm crushing them.
Okay. So there, you hear that too. So let's have a look at Beta Bazooka, this Mr. Marvel's team. They're playing the four-time champion, four-time PS4 champion, Asa wins, Humans. Now, Mr. Marvel, I remember Mr. Marvel back in when Blood Bowl 2 first started, and he was a very good coach. Looking at this dwarf build though, Durrun, we'll go to you first, so I don't forget you.
I got it up.
Would you have gone with this build? Or would you have gone
No.
something different? Oh no, okay, tell me what he's done wrong.
The build is awful. I can't sugarcoat it. It's terrible.
Okay, why is it terrible?
I'm going to agree right there.
The dwarf build was it's like the human build. It should be locked in. There should be no debate in what it is. It's 3 rerolls and an Apo, 1 Troll Slayer, 2 runners, 2 blitzers, and your skill choices. I guess you got some variety there. I would have went Mighty Blow on a Troll Slayer, block on 1 runner, and 2 guard on the blitzers.
Mm-hmm.
But you could easily dump the Mighty Blow for an extra guard on a Longbeard. But I think the block runner you're going to need early in case you run into elves. But so he's got some of it right, but there's just too much wrong with it to really get behind that team.
I guess it's not an apothecary because obviously arm in arm on a lot of the players. But then again, you look at him; he's got 2 Troll Slayers there, AV8. His runner, AV8. You know, and he's only got the 1 runner as well. What?
Yeah.
It's a bit risky. But no, apothecary.
You need the backup runner in this format, I think, especially with the Apple, 100%.
I'm in full agreement. I just echo everything that Durrun said.
Yeah, because
the human team is sitting on 3 guard. I mean, they're going to bully the dwarves, period, and they've got an ogre.
Yeah. So we're not really liking the Marvel's build.
Now, I picked Arzwayne all the way.
Yeah. I must admit, Blitzer with Mighty Blow, I usually go guard on Blitzers. I would have thought they might blow.
Well, it's just said the agility 3 on the blitzers, you automatically dump your first 2 guard there, just so it's more mobile in a pinch, right?
Yeah, I think I would have put the Mighty Blow on the Troll Slayer just because it gets 2 cracks at knocking someone down.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And it will usually try to run away after that.
Yeah. He's a good player though, is Mr. Marvel. He is a very good player, so it might not be straightforward, but it's Arzwayne. Come on, man. It's Arzwayne. Let's have a look at Arzwayne's team. Because obviously,
Like VGP likes to say, they've handicapped themselves pretty badly, like I usually do when I build teams.
Arzwayne is literally the typical human build. It's exactly what everybody else did. It's the meta.
Well, Jimmy claims it's his build because that's the build he took in the Invitational. He got to the final of the Invitational, so you beat a vampire team of the Xbox, and then it beat Dime Lords Orcs, obviously PC. I'm trying to find.
In fairness, that build, there was a lot of dwarves that had armor value 3 in that game.
Yeah, it wasn't very good, was it? To be fair for the.
It was not a match that I would say this team was the winning team. I would just say that this team won with that build. Right. The build was better than the game.
Yeah, fair dues. I do like the build though. I've obviously copied his build now. I mean, it's solid. And like you said, he's got 3 guard, so he's out guarding dwarfs. I mean, that's just crazy. And then he's got his ogre,
Yeah.
strength 5 with
If
block.
this team was playing against my lizards, it would have trouble. But it's playing against any other team in this setup, and it's doing just fine.
Yeah. I mean, could you see Arzuin going all the way and become World Cup champion?
Let me look at the bracket here. All right, so let me just load up. It's a big file. It's over here, I think.
I just put their stats in chat for those who are interested. Not much to go on with Mr. Marbles. Apparently, they
Okay.
don't play on PC at all.
If Arzuane wins this match, he's up against another human team. And if he wins that match, he's probably against another human team.
Really? Wow, okay.
It's literally Steve and Kabusta who are the next game. And if Arzuane plays anything like he does and the dice are even, he'll win that game.
Right.
And the other side is either Yagul with Woodies or Pupok with Undead. And
very good.
I'm assuming that it's going to be one of those two winning, and then he's going to face either Debaser or Andri, and Andri won the Blood Bowl Cup with Blood Bowl 1, and Debaser's an incredible coach. So whichever one of them wins is going to face either, I think it's Undead. Could be Necro, because I don't really know the icons that well between the two.
It's Necro.
Okay. So it's a Necro team, and I think the human builds beat the Necro teams pretty well in this format.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, the tipping has the Arzuin 81% favourite to win, so there's a lot of Arzo love, and obviously he's been doing very well with Undead. He's unbeaten with Undead in this season C ladder. He's top of the PS4 ladder. Ironically, the last person to beat him was me. I'm the only person to have beaten Arzo in quite a while, and then it took penalties.
And when it comes to the semifinals, I feel like looking at your leg, Bernie, that it's a bit weaker for the coaches compared to some of the other legs that I've seen. So whoever comes out the strongest of that, if he makes it to the semifinals, I think he'll still have a good chance.
Yeah, I think Arzo's our best chance. Him and Drick of the Xbox. I think if you turn around to me and said if the consoles did win it, who would win it? It'd be between Drick and Arzo.
Arzone's not Xbox, is he?
There's what?
Arzone's not Xbox, is he?
No, it's PS4.
He's a console.
Oh yeah, he's a cousin, not a brother.
Yeah, I try.
So you two can date. That's fine. We're okay with that.
What happens in Canada stays in Canada, mate. You carry on.
No. I was just saying because it's the British inbreeding thing. It's all good.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
So Yoshi comes back in
I need to go
22nd
back
and
off
he
mic
wrestles
and
her.
just giggle to myself for a bit now, but thank you.
Yeah, I must admit, I would go with Arzuin in this one. Although, if Mr. Marvel did win, it wouldn't be the biggest surprise to me because he's a very good coach. He doesn't really.
It would to me.
Oh, God, yeah.
I just think with the build, even if it's a no casualty game on both sides, I think Arzuane still is solid.
Yeah, the build's going to handcuff that dwarf team so bad.
So, are we all in agreement? We all going for Arzuin?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. All right, who's up next?
I've only seen one team, but fuck doors.
In this setup, I think dwarves are a bad choice.
Yeah, I must admit,
I think every dwarf player was hoping to get wood elves for the first 2 games,
No, but
so they could round out a 6-block lineup and then go from there.
dwarves are great for league, but playoffs, no.
Right, let's get on to our next one. We've put this coach as a PS4 because he's a PS4 coach, let's be honest.
It's Durrun.
It's Durrun's team. The ICBBL, the PS4 Pariah. And because you love him so much, Little Yoshi, you can have first dibs on his team. Do you like it? Don't like it? What do you like? What don't you like?
I don't like it, mate.
Careful, I'll find out where you live.
I'll tell you where I live, mate. It's fine. It's only a game. Fucking hell. Jeebus.
Give him an address, he'll pee on your mailbox.
Yeah, yeah. All my neighbours do that already. They all fucking hate it. I don't like it. I don't know why you'd have guard on an orc team. The meta game you're expecting is like there's no other good strength 4 teams to bring in, or teams with like a lot of strength 4 to bring in. So I don't know why you'd have guard. Or maybe lizards, but even then.
Okay. Let me throw that one back for you.
Hang on, I haven't finished.
Once you're done.
Hang on, jeebus.
I'm gonna defend my buddy over here.
Yeah. It's all right. I would have dropped block on all 4 black orcs as the 4 skills and done. And then as you progress, you can get a bit of tackle. The mighty blow I don't get at all. That's situational at best. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big orc player. I think that's why Bernie's thrown it at me. And I don't like it. Sorry. There you go. Finished. Now tell me I'm horrible and piss through my letterbox.
You must be
No,
hard,
I'm
because
just-
it's that first round exit waiting to happen.
I'm just I'm looking at his logic from the other side. I might have questioned the mighty blow considering you've got 4 skills. It's going to be great to get rid of elves and any other AV7 team, which luckily you just got saddled up with. But my guess is the guard was designed to deflate the 3 guard meta build for humans. It's gonna any team that came in, whether it's Amazon, human, Necro, is gonna have 2 to 3 block on it, or sorry, 2 to 3 guard on it, which includes the dwarves, mind you. So if you run in with a team like that with no guard, probably just gonna get your face punched in. You run in with 2.
But you got the strength. You got the strength, so you don't need the guard. That's the whole point.
Still, I think 2 of them is going to make a difference where you can keep that strength edge that you have at a TV 1K game. So, anyhow, Durrun, let's actually hear why you made that choice.
Well, the mighty blow tackle I think was non-negotiable given all the buzz about elves and the wood elves. We knew there were going to be lots of wood elf teams. Humans, it's never bad either because you can pound on the catchers. AV8 breaks, right? So that's just, I have my killer out of the gate. And yes, the guard went on the black orcs to utilize their strength better in certain situations to help split teams up and keep them apart. And then block's always good. So sure hands is great in the format too with wood elves. So.
Oh no! Always have the thrower, mate. Always have the thrower.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the best piece in the game. I mean,
Not even negotiable.
I know people like to rally around this war dancer nonsense, and werewolves are awesome. But, fuck all that. The orc thrower just wins games. It's not even fair.
I have a very good friend who is, we label him as techno thrower, as in techno thrower, because he can't stand throwers on any team. And I agree with him in certain cases, and I disagree with him in certain cases. But in this format, with wood elves being so obviously prevalent and strip ball being out there, if I had the choice and general was regular for lizards, I would have let one of my skinkers have sure hands.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I debated with a lizard coach last night when we were doing a practice match. It's like, well, obviously you get doubles for the second round, and he's always, he's like, well, you put block on the Crocs. I'm like, well, what if you're playing wood elves? Wouldn't you want to give the skink sure hands? Because you're pretty much just asking to give up the ball every turn.
Yep.
It's too hard to defend.
What have you got next round?
Next round, I got the only Norris team or the only Chorf team.
Oh shit! Okay,
That's going to be a pretty obvious choice.
99% probability I'm going to take another card.
Right.
okay. I'll take block on one of the guards if it was me, but
I'm considering that if it's the Chorf team, maybe blocking up one of the 2 guards. But if it's the Norris, 100%.
you want if they're going to be up in the line, then they need to stay up in the line rather than just get decked.
Well, that's what I got 3 linemen for. burning cast front center.
No. Sorry, not
No,
in
no,
the
he means later on.
not in the kickoff line, like in the melee that's going to kick off as the drive continues. If you've got guard pieces, you want them to actually stand there and be in and amongst the action rather than be able to be manipulated away by being knocked down or powed down and pushed away. So take a guard on one, take a block on one of them to keep
I
them
looked
in
at
there.
this. I looked at this match 2 or 3 times, and I really gave it to Durrun. I think his build with 2 guard on the Black Orcs is very much gonna outclass the 3 guard on the Amazons.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. The Amazon build is not what people would think it would be. It's 3 guard, which is fine, but the other piece is frenzy. So I think he's counting on serfs for removals. And,
To be
Well,
fair,
even then, he's got a
I-
13 bench. He could just be using it for fouls.
he could be fouling too. Yeah.
I watched your practice game. Oh, well, I watched one of your practice games last night, and the Zons took you to overtime at the very least.
Yeah.
It's gonna depend on how that killer does, for the most part.
Actually,
And
yeah, true.
You're
Those
really
Zons are
looking.
fucking all
You're
the
really
way.
looking at a 14-player bench because of the apothecary.
Yeah. But the apothecary should only like spring off the bench for one of those blitzers, probably.
Exactly.
So, every lineman I get a Kaz on is a permanent removal. Like it's never going to be happening unless the situation calls for it later in the second half or something. So,
Unless it comes right down to him going down to 10 players with you having even a KO against you. At that point, he might take it.
but yeah, I mean, this is no spoiler. This is no secret insight in my strategy. It should be pretty obvious that my blitzer is just going to be like a piston every turn. Blitz, 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 and just trying to.
Oh,
It's
fuck
the
yeah.
way you deal with Amazons. You try to
Fuck yeah.
remove a couple.
No, it's a nice blitzer to have. I mean, yeah, block, mighty blow, tackle is
I am disappointed I couldn't give a mighty blow to one of the Saurus, but I figured 3 block is better than a block, tackle, block, mighty blow.
Yeah. Well, given your matchup, you're kind of lucky that took tackle.
You know what? I like that everybody has called me lucky instead
Well,
of smart.
Well, no, but
one
I mean,
person is. No, I'm not kidding you. No bullshit. Every single person on stream, VGP,
no, man,
Jimmy, they
man,
all
mate,
called me
all
lucky.
right, all right. I'm
It's
gonna
funny.
be the first one. I'm gonna be the first one in. Smart.
There.
well, no, but that's why I have
You're
the
gonna
mighty
win,
blow
'cause
tackle
you've got
piece too,
smarts.
because I'm elf meta, right? I'm just worried about the elves. I want to answer. I want a way to
Yeah.
take them down.
The
Take them
Wood
out.
Elves needed an answer, and conveniently mine is the same answer for Amazons.
Yeah, well, it just happens to work for Amazons as well. Both of us happen to draw Amazons, so we're both looking pretty good.
I mean, it's what you pick when you know what the meta is. And when it comes to human catchers, somebody's probably going to take block on one of those fuckers too. And so
Exactly.
it only made
Around
sense.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't
Somebody's
mind.
probably going to take block on one of those fuckers too. And
Exactly.
I don't mind Durrun's build. And I think
honestly, in this matchup, I have Durrun picked because it's the solid choice.
Yeah.
What a coincidence! I picked him too.
No shit. You must know him personally or something.
We're pretty close. We talk once a day. So
Yeah. Interestingly, though, the tipping competition picks the Zons to go through 53 to 47. So the audience think the Zons will beat the Orcs.
I think that's all down to armor breaks.
Mhm.
If
It'll be a dicey game, but I have trouble imagining that there will be less than 4 Zon casualties by the end of the game.
So, Yoshi, are you going for Durrun or are you going for Danak? The Zons or the Orcs?
I think I'm going for Danak. I'm really sorry. I know Durran's on stream, but I'm sorry. I'm going for Danak.
Okay.
I think he's going to get some luck.
if you're a necrophiliac, that's fine. I'm gonna have. There's plenty of corpses that you'll be able to enjoy. So.
And honestly, it's sad seeing there's only blitzers in that lineup. I mean, he's obviously counting on the foul game.
Which
Or if he's not, he's just creating a bench hoping that he doesn't get knocked out.
When is your game? When is your game?
We're trying to put it at Saturday, but because here's a little personal note. My mom went in for surgery today, so she's going to be in the hospital all week, so I need to be
sorry, Jeff.
available. No, it'll be fine. It's like the surgery.
Congratulations and condolences.
Yeah, surgery went fine. I just need to be available in case she needs anything, so I can't schedule anything during the week. We're expecting her to be out Thursday or Friday, hopefully, so that puts Saturday as the first possible day. They've already saying he's busy, so it may be Sunday or Monday at this point. I was hoping to get it in Saturday, so there'd be room in case I had to bump it, but he might be busy, so
Yeah. Okay.
we'll see.
Let's.
Well, I'd like to see. I'd like to see this game because how many Orcs are in it? There's not many Orc teams in it, is there?
It's 3.
3.
I'll be tuning in and cheering.
No, I'm a big fan. Well, Benny will tell you, I'm a big fan of Orcs.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see Orcs do well.
Yeah. It
Me
might,
too.
if it's on a Saturday, maybe a couple of us could stream this because obviously I'll have my new PC by then, so it'll all be up and running. So I'm hoping to stream a few of the games. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll come down to the Mighty Blow tackle piece. How good will that do? If I'm the zones, I'm fouling the fuck out of it. If I'm Durrun,
Like I said, probably going to look like a Beastman Blitzer with Claw Mighty Blow. He's just going to dart out, hit something, and hide behind the Blackworks, right? Like that's
You can't foul them because they've got a bench and you haven't. You can't foul.
I have a bench. I got 12.
Yeah, they've got 14, haven't they?
No, I got 13.
13.
13 and an Apo. So
Well, yeah, so you can't start fouling until you're 1 or 2 up.
Yeah, and I got 12 in an Apple, so believe
And
me,
as we
those are my
learned
radar
today,
as well.
even if you roll get the ref, it's not gonna work.
If you're banking on the rolls, it's game over already, mate. Come on, we all know this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? Okay. Let's move on to the next coach, Shod.
Come on,
Do we
Bernie.
have to do that,
Control the
jackass?
He was season 14 champion of the PS4. He's gone with Wood Elves, and I am really worried. I haven't told him yet, so he's probably going to shoot me. He's probably hopefully not in stream. He's hopefully fell asleep. But I'm concerned. He's gone for Wood Elves. I've never seen him play Wood Elves. I've seen him play a lot of races at a very high standard. And I'm just concerned he may have gone on the Wood Elf train just because it's the cool thing to do. I don't have a problem per se on the roster, but I'll go around everybody. I'll start with Durrun. Don't bog out that tree. Is that, I don't know, is that how you pronounce it? Shod's team.
Don't bogart that tree.
Well, let's see. The ward answers are what they have to be. Like that's what everybody's ward answers should be.
Yeah.
You went with 2 rerolls instead of 1 in the Apo, which is preference, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't personally like Leader and Dodge, but I was listening to Jimmy talk about it, and he kind of talked me into it a little bit. But the idea of having 2 of your skills on an armor 7 with no block scares the crap out of me, especially since one of them is one of your rerolls. But I don't play a lot of Wood Elves. I'm not very good with them. So I would trust somebody like that over me.
I suppose the thing is with having pass and that, it'd be quite far back anyway, wouldn't it? So, I wouldn't be too worried about obviously that, but I see what you mean. You've got 2 skills on it. If he goes out, then that's 2 skills gone, and it's a leader reroll, so you'll have 3 rerolls.
It's literally a player that you're going to have to protect.
Yeah.
Because, but the thing is,
You
what he's done
while he's meant to be blitzing. Okay.
what he's done is he's meant the dodge to make that a more survivable piece. Because now, anybody looking at it is going to say, "Oh, I have to treat that like a ward answer. I have to blitz it with tackle." So it's a piece that can't just accidentally get base punched.
Right. It's not a coin flip anymore. There's a little more involved.
So
Yeah,
I like the idea. I can't say I'd take it myself if I knew anything about what he's.
Yeah, that's just I don't understand them enough to speak on them other than the ward answers should have tackle and strip, and other than that, my opinion goes out the window for reliability when it comes to playing with cancer. So
I tell you what is interesting is 87% have gone for Shod. So everybody's piled on Shod. We hadn't looked at his.
Well, that's because the necromantic team is a bad build.
Yeah, the Necro team is awful. It's really
And
bad.
nobody can pronounce his name anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll have fun trying to find
And
that.
his player naming scheme blows my mind.
Okay, we'll have a look at it in a moment. Yoshi, do you like this build? Anything you like, dislike?
Meh.
Me.
Meh. Eh, eh,
In
eh.
my opinion, it's one of the more lackluster Woody builds. Not that you're going to see a lot of difference between them, just going to see fine tuning, but I prefer Drick's build that we already looked at. I prefer Spartaco's build that we looked at, but this one, it's a unique idea. We'll see how it works.
I'm weirded out that I haven't seen a single sidestep catcher on
I
a.
think everybody's planning for that for later.
There is actually a sidestep catcher in another team.
Oh, there is. There is.
Yes.
Oh, the one without the tree?
Let me just do a quick search.
Yeah,
What else team without a
I'm
tree
probably
as well?
expecting like that because
It is
sidestep is nice.
Yagul from DBBL, his Wood Elves. He took sidestep on a catcher to start.
Really, has he played his game yet?
No.
No. He's up
No.
against Pupak later.
Oh God.
Ooh,
God, that's-
okay, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. All right, then. I'll save my comments till then.
Shot
I'll-
in chat. Shot says I beat Asa 4-0 with Wood Elves. That is really impressive. Am I confusing you with somebody else? Someone was winning 2-0 against Armedia's Necro. Was it you who blew a 2-0 lead, or did somebody else blow a 2-0 lead? Let me know. I think Shot can go well in the competition. He knows how to play. He's an ex-champion, and he got to the semi-final this season as well. So the guy can play and he's improving all the time. What I think is always a big plus. My only concern was Wood Elves. I haven't really seen him play Wood Elves, but he convinces me that he's very good with them. So that's good enough for me. So I hope he does really well. He's a good friend of mine, and I really hope he does well. Like all PS4 coaches. Let's see who he's against then.
He's up against the unpronounceable.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
He who shall not be named.
Oh, Shaq.
Or aka the
Oh,
crazy
hang on. We all have to take turns trying to pronounce it, then, surely.
Go on then, you have first crack then, Little Yoshi.
Put it up.
I have got it up. Boom boom.
Shout to pussies. Easy.
Shacktopusses. It's easy. It's not.
You just copied me. That's not a thing.
Because that's how it's pronounced.
It's not that you're trying to pronounce.
How?
Although I'd like you to pronounce the
Oh, there's another thing. Sorry.
the
Hang on.
blockless flesh golem's name.
I need to put it full screen to actually see what the that is.
Which
Um,
God.
Bernie, I'm watching your stream, mate. Put it full screen so I can.
That's as full screen as I'm getting it. Which one are we trying to pronounce now? A golem. Which one? The.
The team is Exception.
Right. Okay. Durrun, what do you think of this team?
The fuck?
It's possibly the worst design team in the entire tournament.
Please explain.
Oh, come on. Say what you really think. Come on.
Well,
He would have to do that while in the bathroom.
yeah, you block instead of guard on a plushie. Guard on the white is okay. I don't completely hate the two schools on the ghoul, but it's like super like I'm scared of Wood Elf build, and nobody can explain to me why the Wrestle Mighty Blow Wolf is good. Nobody.
I think the wolf is trying to imitate
Oh, God, no.
that star player.
Wrestle Mighty Blow is like a nombo. What?
It's dual purpose, isn't he? It's dual purpose.
It works against what you want to do with him.
It's meant to, well, no. If you want him to wrestle, you want him to wrestle. If you want him to mighty blow, you want him to mighty blow. But fuck it, not the two together. Jesus.
So he's schizophrenic, is what you're saying.
Well, he's shite, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I understand the ghoul pick. I think that's okay. I think you probably have wanted to picture hands later, but regardless, I like the ghoul idea. But the werewolf, I'm lost.
But
and having 0 tackle on this team. If you're worried about Wood Elves, where's your goddamn tackle?
but the wrestle will help against Wood Elves. I think. I'd rather have tackle, but
Why might he play though? Why might he play?
because he wants to slap some orcs and some dwarfs.
On the same piece as.
Why not give one to one werewolf and one to another that isn't on your team?
I just can't understand why he doesn't have 2 wolves. How do you take a fucking necro team with 1 wolf? Have to take 2
With one wolf?
Have to take 2
One wolf's not the end of the world, but just to build it like that is insane.
It's. I assume there is some Russian logic, or maybe the team name is some kind of matrix hack that's going to cause it to only roll 6s for him and 1s for his opponent.
Maybe at the bottom of a bottle of vodka, but I don't know. I wouldn't understand.
I am too uneducated to understand how awesome this is.
But why the fuck are you on this stream then? I thought Bernie.
Well, he let you in, so he felt he had to let me in.
Well, I'm a fucking class clown. I don't know why I'm here, but I thought the other people were really good.
I'm just some guy who is lucky and won 8 games in a round.
And we know how good Durrun is.
Hey?
Durrun's the luckiest coach in the planet. He always gets good rolls as Durrun. All the rolls.
Yeah, that's why my nickname's King of the 1 in 36.
See? Gets all the rolls. Consistent.
Everyone gets all the roles.
Who gets all the rolls?
I do know that the first word in this player's name is translated to gray, but that's all I know.
There you go. It could be
Mostly because somebody referred to him once as gray.
So it could be a great day for Shot if Shot rolls a lot of 1s. But I think Shot's got enough firepower, don't you? Yeah.
And Kitty has an opinion too. She's really upset about this team.
Mm.
There you go.
That should tell you something. The cat thinks it's awful, so she doesn't speak very much unless she wants something to eat.
Shot says that could be that guy found out that you can make coloured player names. I hope he didn't found a hack. A Russian and hacking. Always go. It's amazing.
What a racist assumption, Shad.
Next thing you know, you're going to say they rigged the election in the States. Jesus, come on.
Whoa. No one would ever. I mean, I haven't seen a single thing about it.
Why would anybody ever do that?
No,
Anyhow, any predictions on this one?
they're all mentalists. They
Shot.
don't really know.
Yeah. I think Durrun and I already weighed in for Shad.
Yeah, Yoshi, you going for Shot? Are you going for the Russian?
I think so. I'm going for the
Shad half asleep before he even has his coffee. I'm still
the
picking
good
Shad.
build as opposed to the awful build. Yeah.
He could be fapping to porn and playing the game at the same time. He'd probably still win.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We should set that as a challenge.
Welcome.
If he does that, we all chip in 10 quid. Come on. It's gotta be-
I'm pretty sure I could send him a bottle of whiskey.
I mean, we don't need video evidence, but yeah, if he does it.
There has to be an in-person witness too.
Well,
Just to make it awful.
what's the qualification for doing
Who's
it?
taking that bullet?
Last
Who's
the
taking
whole
that
game,
bullet?
or
Who's going
just
to be there?
bang with it?
I don't know. You never get this on Jimmy's chat. It's all professional. We going about playing porn and playing a game at the same time. That's how we roll on the PS4.
Because the reason why I say does he have to last the entire game before he pops the shot, or can he do multiple times? Because if he times it and then overtime
Moving
lose,
on. I regret
wow.
ever starting this.
we got to set terms. We got to set rules, right? We
This
got to
needs to
know.
be a thing.
before we
This needs to
start.
be a thing.
Okay, we'll do this after chat.
No. Oh, whoa, Jesus. No, I need to go to bed.
All right, Bernie, moment in the sun. Let's go.
Okay. Now we're back to my lovely team. Feel the burn. Everyone's claiming they.
I feel like I've seen this build somewhere before.
Yeah. I think ours are copied off me.
So uneventful.
Yeah. Well, hey, what can I say?
I'm just glad again that you didn't name it "Feel Up the Burn." Just saying.
I'm saying nothing. I'll come to you first, Durrun. Anything you want to say about it? I know it's a bit boring. It's the same as ours and just about everything else.
It's your pretty typical human build. You got to play Dark Elves. Racially, you're favored, but I have to stop there. It's I'm rooting for you, but I didn't pick you, buddy. Sorry.
No, and that's understandable. It's under Davo. I don't. I think VG picked me. I don't know why VG picked me. I think it's because he was on give me the fucking shit draw.
Well, it's just like I said on paper. If we just look at the two teams head to head, we ignore the coaches, we ignore any history. The human team's favored, but so you're not coming in completely outgunned. You do have some advantages. But.
See,
I mean, I think this one is going to come down to the fact that there are two mighty blow hitters on the human team that have shots at things. You're going to see the Dark Elves dodge away a lot. You're going to see the Witch Elf potentially frenzy push people off the pitch if there's ever an accident made. But for the most part, it's going to be two mighty blows trying to get hits, trying to remove 3 to 4 players to make the game manageable.
So we're basically looking at Bernie not mugging himself with. Surf.
Bernie's just going to have to make the right choices.
Don't mug himself with surfs and hit the non-block lineman.
And I mean, since you're playing against the slowest of the elves, all you have to do is make sure that they don't get by you.
Yeah, I think.
And you don't leave openings.
I think the problem I have is I'm expecting him to do a screen defense, a column defense. So I need to get a few removals. But my main concern is how to set kickoff on his drive. Because usually I just leave the sides open and if you want to go down there and score quickly, no problem. I'll just take it up to the other end. But I think that is probably my main concern. And again, he's agility 4, so 2 pluses.
I think having the 3 guard is seriously going to help you deal with the column defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have to use your guard to leverage against the column defense.
Yeah.
But you can tuck him with guard, so that's fine.
Yeah.
3 guard and the ogre. You can ram the ogre down his throat.
Yeah.
Protection as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
I have a very specific way to use lizards to go through the screen defense for columns.
Right.
And almost every single time it pushes 2 squares a turn until they give up.
Right.
Or until 8 turns over and you've out to win.
Usually by then I'm making 1 skink dodge to get into the end zone.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to see Shawnee make the World Cup, obviously.
Yeah.
I think
I'm really glad you helped him get there.
Yeah, I felt pretty bad knocking him out. So I just say, come on, mate, no hard feelings.
Honestly, I was more sad to see an Arian go because I'm more of an Arian fan than Shawnee fan, but it would have been nice to see Shawnee, considering how active he's been, make it as well.
I mean, maybe an Arian took a dive because he didn't want to go against Field of Ben, maybe. Maybe not.
Honestly, Inarian's one of my favorite people to watch play the game.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He once scored a 17 rolls in a row touchdown, including a -3 die against my Crocs that needed a POW or a stumbles and got it, and proceeded to make every roll. And I was like,
oh my
I just want to learn to play like that one day. It was so brilliant.
So you want to find out where I live? Fucking hell, you want to find out where he lives? Jesus wept. Oh,
and steal his hacks. I know.
No,
Inarian is one of my favorite players.
Just kill everyone. But yeah.
Anania, there's Little Yoshi and Guinness with me. Guinness, obviously the World Cup champion, as we've said 50,000 times already, and Little Yoshi is the Xbox spin wizard who likes to just.
Hello.
He is the meme master.
Yeah, Guinness is our credibility, and Yoshi is our contractual obligation.
Oh my gosh, if you're standing up for credibility, you're losing a lot. I'm just some guy who got lucky 8 games in a row. Just ask Jimmy, he'll tell you. Actually, there's a few other people who said that too, so I can't just blame Jimmy.
I'm a class clown from Xbox. That's about as far as it gets, mate.
I think the credibility went out the window pretty much early on.
And I mean, I fully agree with him. I just got lucky for 8 games in a row. That's how I got here.
Surely they must need luck to win something like this, because it's you've got all these top quality coaches. Surely, I mean, Jimmy seems to think with a lot of these games it's whoever gets luckier, because the skill levels are pretty similar. Do you guys agree on that, or is it being too kind?
Ish.
Let me go last on this one.
Go on then, Yoshi. What do you think?
I'm an ish. I think there's some positioning, and even between like two really good coaches, is going to be positioning stuff. I think there's luck of the draw depending on what teams you get, because it is rock paper scissors sometimes with this game.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're looking at dice.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Durrun? Do you think it is the lucky person what wins it, or?
Well, the matchups are gonna play the first and foremost factor. If there's any like big discrepancy, like dwarves versus Amazons, like it's just you're not gonna win that probably. But after that, it's probably like just not making the dumb mistake, right? Which is coaching, like the positioning, like not making the wrong decision. Just win the move stuff. Safe moves first, as Fash always says, right? And then luck will break it from there, right? So whoever's dice are a bit hotter or not so much.
Do you think any coach is going to make proper dumb decisions?
Oh, we're going to see some.
We've already seen a few.
Yeah,
Spartaco made a couple choices that I thought they were careless. They counted on a 1 in 36, and he got the 1 in 36, and it's a really bad time to do it, but I mean, sometimes they happen, but he could have covered the ball with 1 or 2 players and been in a much better position.
Zoloft leaving the leader piece out there to get blitzed on turn 1, like you have to.
He could have moved his entire formation over 1, and then the leader couldn't have gotten hit.
Yeah, there was something like I just know positionally you don't have to leave pieces hanging out that you don't want to, and he's only got like 3 to really protect anyway, 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. I know you can protect 3 or 4 pieces easily, so. Rule of 5 saves you 5 right there, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at Andy Davo's team then. It's all about meme. So
you did ask though if we thought coaches were going to win based on luck or not. The format that we put together for this tournament, that Focus has put together for this tournament, was highly debated by a lot of the admins. The problem is that this tournament is run by people who don't understand Blood Bowl. Single elimination works easily. It's the most efficient. It's the least time consuming. But the thing is, it punishes great coaches for having one bad game. A great coach like Spartaco, who is considered top of the world by NAF and has a bunch of fans, got eliminated first round because he had a bad game. Now, if you played in a Swiss format, and then maybe had a playoff at the end of that for the top 8, you'd have a much better system of ranking to choose who goes on. But unfortunately, this is the format we have. So you're going to end up with some significantly lucky games that are going to hit 1 or 2 coaches. But at the same time, the coaches who can play consistently well and play with consistently average to better luck are going to win. Does it mean luck is going to get you all the way through? No. It just means that lucky and good will get you through.
No, all that means is good will get you to quarters or whatever. I don't know, to the last round where it's single elimination, and that's all this is. It's a single elimination thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at.
So, whatever you had before that, which is all the multitude of playoffs going on all the consoles, is where you had the opportunities to have lots of games to get you there.
Fair enough. Take Stringer Bell, who competed in 12 tournaments and got 1 of them. Or you can take Philidius, who played in 3 and won 3.
But at the same time, I mean, at what point do you have the cutoff?
It's a good question. When you're coming to something like this, I guess you have the opportunity to say, Swiss has already happened. Here's your main event.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that argument.
A Swiss playoff would be boring as shit. Sorry, it would just be so boring.
No. I actually see your argument. There's been a lot of people who told me that they'd prefer to see this done in a Swiss format with the small playoffs at the end, which could be done in a day or two if they just, announced ahead of time and booked it off kind of thing. But
If every coach
the way
has
it
got,
is,
has got the
it's
same annual
really
leave and they all live on the same continent, yeah, cool. But that's not a thing. So,
My 2 cents for tournament style. I used to like the way the Hearthstone did it with the losers bracket. So everybody had a second chance.
the
If you
second
got
chance
you
bracket.
got a
Yeah,
bad
we
roll,
do that
yeah.
in a lot of competitions.
So whoever was the guy who rolled would roll all the way to the end, but everybody who lost had a second opportunity to get back in it.
Mm-hmm.
But that would probably be an admin nightmare, so we'll never see that. So.
It is. Honestly, we do that one in the BBPN, which is the recreation of NATTS, after it went defunct and got broken up by its original admin. BBPN always does their tournaments with a loser's bracket, but each one has to be set up manually.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of effort.
Oh, God, no. Okay, no, that's
Plus,
fair.
the downside to that is for this big of a tournament, we know in the finals they want to do a 3-game match, right? Whereas if you go with the loser bracket format, then how does that benefit? How do you do the last match then? Because typically it would be the guy who won all the way there would get to lose a game and win a game to win it, but the loser would
It
still
ends up
get it
being a
done.
best of 3 with a free win, yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I had to play that this year, and it was tough.
Yeah, I think as obviously I am an admin. I think the format we've got is probably the best we're gonna get. I really do. I don't think we'll. I know Swiss was talked about, but they looked at the pros and cons of everything, and they just thought this was the best way. And the good thing about this one is everybody's got a chance, because if the good guys like Spartaco have a bad day at the office and you have a good day at the office, you can win. And it's all about giving the underdog a chance, not just the best players. And
hey, we proved it last time around. The best player didn't necessarily win.
So there's a lot to like about that, and I like the way they've done it. I really do. I'm more than happy the way they've decided to go with it. So we'll see. But let's go on to Andy Davo's team. It's all about Meme, the Dark Elves. Interesting team. Only 11 players, what's good. Only 2 rerolls, what's fantastic. But it does have 5. Well, it has 4 blodgers, 3 block and 1 wrestle. Guinness, what do you think? Is this the right way to build?
Honestly, as a not typically elf coach, this is a build I'd hate playing against because it's got more blodge and 1 Raj there.
Yeah.
I think when you're going dark elf, this is probably the way you want to go to start. I think Andy Davo made as good a choice as you could come up with. And honestly, there are some other builds. People went for a killer so they could deal with wood elves.
Yep.
But this team deals with wood elves by having a runner so they can dump off to somebody else. Or by having lodge players, because that's really what they're designed to do. I have a tough time seeing any other build that I'd want to see on Dark Elves going into the start of a tournament where humans and necromantic are the meta. And woodies.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've got my blow tackle piece, so obviously he's going to try and hit on the blodge pieces. Obviously, the Witch Ultra on the armor 7. And obviously, he hasn't got a bench. That's what I keep telling myself. He's got no bench, so every injury removal will be big. I mean, Yoshi, do you like this build?
I kind of do. I think if I was in it, which I'm not obviously, but if I was in it, then this would be one of the builds I'd go for. I probably wouldn't have the runner. I'm not a fan of dump off. Dump off feels like a desperation move.
Yeah.
Because your ball carrier has been hit by the time you have to use it. But I like a lot of blodge. I like a lot of wrestle blodge. I like frenzy. I like frenzy in general.
Yeah.
And frenzy wrestle.
I'm actually disappointed I had trouble putting frenzy on my my Blizzard team as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Frenzy is obviously
Yeah.
you've got to be careful around the sides, but I've got a feeling him having Frenzy might make my game plan a lot easier. But we'll see. Durrun, anything you want to add to this team? Do you like it? Don't like it? Anything you could improve? Or
Well, I was looking for the other Dark Elf teams because I remember VGP last night on his stream talking about the build he liked, and it actually wasn't Andy Davis' build for Dark Elves.
right?
So I just pulled that one up for comparison. It has a runner as well, only the runner is leader.
Yeah.
It has a Wrestle Witch Elf. It has 2 Blodge Blitzers, and the other 2 Blitzers. It has 11 men, 2 rerolls, and an Apo.
All right.
So it has a little less Blodge, but more Blitzers. It has
Yeah.
all 4.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's only got 3 blitzers. I always
And it's got the reroll on the leader, since it's a normal for the. So it actually gets 3 rerolls, not 2.
yeah,
And you still got your Wrestle Witch Elf.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm not a big Dark Elf. Again, I'm not very good with elves, so I couldn't say which one's better. But
That
I know
sounds
Andy's
nice.
pretty good.
That sounds nice. I'd rather have one witch elf, 4 blitzers, and
Yeah.
still 2 rerolls.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
you
I
could-
would have liked to see the extra blitzer here. I failed to really pay attention and point that out.
Yeah, I agree. I'd rather go 4 blitzers and have 1 witch elf because you still got the frenzy, and obviously the extra armor 8 is a lot better than obviously armor 7. So
I do think allowing 2 witch elves to threaten both sides of the pitch is going to make his gameplay different, but we'll see how it pans out for him.
With 1 Witch Elf, though, you have less to protect to worry about.
yeah,
Exactly.
but when you have 2, sometimes you can't protect both of them, and that's the problem, isn't it? It'll be an
You don't
interesting game.
you don't have to protect in res though. It's fun.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Not as much.
But
But
Well, they've got to make
yeah,
it scene of the game. So
The thing is, he's got 3 AV7 positionals on this one.
right. As
Which
opposed to
means-
the other build, which I described, it's only has 2.
but 2 of them built for surfing.
Mhm.
So even if they're off the pitch, they've hopefully taken someone else off before they go.
Yep.
there you go. But, si-
Yeah, I kind of like that.
but 63% say Andy Dab will win. He's obviously the big name, so we'll have to see if we can do a spark on him. But we'll see.
And just to reiterate, I hope you win, Bernie, but I had to pick Andy.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Anyone
It's
who,
not like you're just completely stomped like Sean's Necro opponent who shouldn't even show up, but
Yeah.
you've got a fighting chance.
well, you know me. I like to play the underdog, so that's not a problem. I'd rather people say he can't lose than people say I
Oh
can't
no, I'm not going to be surprised if he loses, but
I
difficult.
I had you pick to win, Bernie, simply because I think that the damage that you caused that team and the guard will make all the difference.
Cool.
I mean, I don't really see him taking the ball away with you having 3 guard and the strength of a pair of Mighty Blow to hit.
Yeah. I mean that.
And with only the 3 or the 2 rerolls that he has available to him, I just see the team taking damage and attrition will do the work.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. 2 rerolls, only 11 players. As long as he doesn't get a defense blitz, and I can pick the ball up and get it caged safely.
I mean, one dodge with the ground, having Mighty Blow, tackle, piling on, claw, and that's going to change the game right there. And then you'll do all your own work.
Yeah. I mean, shot. Oh, quite. Yeah. A 9-inch shot bow pick Bernie to win. Yeah, that's nice. But yeah, we'll see. Right, let's move on. Is this the last PS4 coach before we go on to the World Champs team?
Oh, Bernie, just to be selfish, one final note too. The other reason I picked Andy is because I'm kind of praying that him and Jimmy meet in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that and I thought, well, you know what? If I get knocked out, it'd be no shame getting knocked out by Andy. But if Andy and Jimmy played against each other with the history them 2 have got, that'd be a fantastic game, wouldn't it?
And $250 on the line.
Oh, you just said fantastic. That's the word of the day.
Anyway, let's go. I think this is the last PS4 coach, and someone's going to turn around to me and say, "Bernie, you forgot one." But it's actually another admin. It's PS4's admin Sam T, and he's picked high elves. A lot of people raised their eyebrows when they found out it went high elves. BNT old timers of PS4. Durrun, I'll come to you first. Are you surprised someone's gone high elves? Because a lot of people, including Jimmy, think why go high elves? They're not wood elves and they're not dark elves, but they are
Well,
too.
I was messing around with builds for the other less chosen teams on my stream one day, and when we got the high elves, I didn't even get very far before I went, "Nope, this isn't going to work," and deleted it and moved on to the next one. I don't think high elves are very good in the format at all. I just think there's too many openings, there's too many weaknesses, they're too underdeveloped. Now, having said that, looking at his build, I like what he's done for what he has to work with. I mean, you're going to come up. The leader is a complete waste with the third reroll, though. Don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I must admit, as soon as he has 3 team rerolls, I just don't get that. Not on an agility 14.
He's not. But
I
he's
would have
not-
dumped that
he's
onto the
not-
lineman with Russell, but
He's not got a lot of block. He's not got a lot of dodge. So
Mhm.
I can get having a lot of reroll.
like it's
You're going to want to dodge, and you're going to want to.
I would either want sure hands on that thrower with the worry of strip ball and elves, or I'd want Russell on alignment over leader. Just don't see it when you're going to take 3. They have cheap rerolls too. So
Yeah.
When I was looking,
It's only a 20k
yeah,
discount.
yeah. Because I was looking at
true.
maybe if I went high elves, I was thinking of putting like sure hands on a catcher, and maybe give him dodge, and not use a thrower. But I don't know. I tried high elves because I thought, oh well, they're tier 2, and a bit like Durrun, there's not. This is probably close to the build I would have gone with. Maybe not the thrower. I certainly wouldn't have took leader. There's no way I'd have took leader. Not when you've got 3 rerolls. But what other concerns me as well is I've only got 11 players. I'd want a bench with these. So I don't know. He's a very good coach.
can you get a bench if you dump the thrower?
No.
The thrower 90k.
Well, you could, but you'd have to dump your apothecary as well.
In res though, an apoth is basically a bench.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't like it. I wouldn't use
I think I'd rather have the Apo as elves though, because you'd want to pick the piece you get to come back as opposed to
Yeah, but
And you can't always pick the piece. Sometimes it's a 4 or higher on the casualty.
Yeah.
But still, it's almost always a guaranteed return.
Yeah.
And you can use it on a KO as well.
Yeah, I think apothecaries, I use them for knockouts. That's what I did the invitational. Injuries are like good.
Honestly, I look at this team and I see I'm hoping to win in overtime.
Yeah. He has enough players left.
Yeah.
And considering the team he's up against, I still think he's going to win first round.
See, I played a lot of high elves in the MML, but I played a strictly balls in offensive running. I just 2-turn was my mission. Just 2-turn, 2-turn, right? That's the only way I know how to play them. So
2-turn defend.
Yeah. Which doesn't work well again in this format because whoever wins that first coin toss, I mean, you really don't want a 2-turn. You want to
Rarely.
get as much mileage as you can out of your drive if you go first. Because the second drive is going to be, everybody's going to have overtime looming come drive 2, so rerolls are going to double in value. Everybody's going to be more stingy. Always want to go first. And to go first in 2-turn and give up that power just seems like a big mistake.
So his opponent, also is Amazon again. Queen is queen, so his mighty blow tackle piece will come in handy. Do you know the coach Guiness? And if so, is he?
No,
good?
I can't say I've ever really met, followed, or known anything about TIS.
The tipping competition has this Amazon team 80% for the win. It's hugely in favour of the Amazons. So I was just wondering if this like one of those top class PC coaches? Well, I don't know about.
I've never met him. I've never played against him. I'm sure that somebody knows him very well. I'm outside of that sphere.
80% secret tech. Tip to win. I mean, very well. Okay.
So somebody somewhere.
I mean, looking at the build, he has enough players again to start fouling, and against elves that can be huge. But I still think the AG4 is really gonna do work here.
Hmm.
It's gonna suck because it's a whole lot of players he's gonna have to hit on POWs with, but he's got a Mighty Blow tackler and he's got one other block player. I mean, he's got some setup. And Mercy Flesh is saying in chat that Tiss is awesome. So
That's maybe why then. Because the winner of this game plays the winner of my game, so there's a potential PS4 clash if we both get through. So, but yeah, Mace is saying he's awesome. I thought he may be pretty good because, like I say, it's very lopsided one way. For such a game where some would say high elves have obviously got the better build.
you also have to count that part of that popularity might be the fact that there was a bunch of complaints over the recent history about, oh, look at how that game went in the Invitational.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with this game? I don't understand why.
People may not have actually seen Bernie as a coach, just Bernie as the guy who destroyed a couple other teams in the Invitational, and there was some negative feedback around that.
So he's a straw man.
Yeah, could be.
Okay.
So,
but that's got nothing to do with these two teams.
I would-
That's what I'm saying.
I would actually like to see how this match turns out.
Yeah. Of
So.
the 3 Amazon build, I like this one the best.
Me
I
too.
think it's got the most options. It's got the most versatility. It's got a little pop. He's just got more he can do with it as opposed to the other 2 teams. Where one's just relying on Blodge, and that's it. Like if Blodge doesn't work, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And the other one's got that frenzy piece, which is giving me nightmares in practice, honestly. But I'll figure it out. But yeah, and again, like I think everybody who drew one of the 3 Amazon teams got lucky to have the exact one piece they need, possibly own the game.
Right?
Like, you've got the block tackle Saurus. Sam's got the Mighty Blow tackle Blitzer, and I've got a Mighty Blow tackle Blitzer. Like we all got the one piece we needed to maybe just manhandle Amazons. So kind of unfortunate for Amazons, but good for us, I guess.
Well, I think the Amazons went in hoping that they'd run into Wood Elves or something else, and then they would be the clear victors of those matches. I think it's a counter meta pick, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I see again. If I'm Wood Elves and I'm coming against this, I wouldn't be scared of this team. If I'm Wood Elves, I just take the ball off you. That'd be my thing. There's no show hands in there. We know one of your war dancers is going to tackle.
But see, you're not afraid of them on offense, but when you're going on offense, they can start fouling out players. They've got to wrestle to get you down. That's, I think, what this kind of build is meant to be.
And they've got 4 rerolls to pick up the ball, so they don't need your hands.
Yeah.
They haul you to the pitch and then they kick you in the head.
It's a risk. Yeah, fouling can be risky though, because some days it works.
I think this is a fouling-based team. And removal.
More so than the one I'm
Mighty
going
Blow.
to play against. The rest
Yeah,
of these.
for sure.
So
If that's what they were doing, though, you would have just took another wrestle rather than Mighty Blow.
But
No.
think of it this way: you're hitting AV7. So if you can hit AV7 with Mighty Blow, it's better than stepping on their head. But as soon as you get one of the important ones down, then you go for the fouling.
Yeah,
Okay.
you beat up on the line elves, right? You just pound away at them with Mighty Blow, and
Because you're always going to throw a line elf in the way.
Yeah.
So you can hit that with Mighty Blow and block. And a lot of the times you're going to hit one of those and break armor. And then every
blitz
time
with the
there's a
tackle.
Wood Elf on the ground
Yeah.
that's either a War Dancer or a valuable catcher or a leader, that's when you're going to start fouling.
Yeah.
But yeah, not even on the ground. That's why you have the wrestle piece, right?
Yeah.
One of them sticks their neck out. You just pull that piece to the ground.
You're probably going to blitz 90% of the time with the Mighty Blow, but when you have a chance to hit something important with the wrestle and free the ball or whatever else, that's what you're going to use.
Yeah.
I think the wrestle is just to get War Dancers. I think this was a counter meta pick.
But yeah, okay.
So let's go around who thinks wins what. Durrun, are you for the Zons or the High Elves?
I hopped on the Zon bandwagon. Sorry, Sam.
Okay. Guinness.
I actually am rooting for Sam on this one. I think he's going to take it. I know TIS now, according to Mercy, is a good coach, which means he is a good coach. But I want to see a high elf stay in, and I think he's probably the one with the better chance to do it out of the two of them.
And Yoshi?
I'm going for the Zons, and I don't feel justify them at length because it's the obvious choice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go for...
Sorry.
I'm going to go for the High Elves because it's obvious. It's PS4 coach, PS4 Master Race, Invitational Cup winners. So, yeah, I'll go with the High Elves.
PS4, what?
Just to
What?
bring this up, the Invitational Cup was the losers who didn't make it any other way.
Hey, I won mine.
Ooh.
Yeah, my ticket was over 3 weeks old when that thing kicked off. Like,
I can't believe.
it's collecting dust.
It's okay. Keep in mind, I really like 4 of the coaches that are in there, and I've made friends with 2 of them since. So I really like everybody in the Invitational.
fair,
But it's the people who had bad luck getting up to that.
I've made it no way, so I don't.
Glad I can make you laugh, Mercy.
I can badmouth everyone. I've got nothing.
I can't.
You're like, I'm the champion. I can make fun of everybody. Guinness is the champion. He makes fun of very few people because he's too nice.
I can't believe you just called Anarian a loser.
I know, right? But it's not very often.
Technically, he lost. So.
Yeah, but you can't. That's terrible.
I know.
You told me
And I like Anarian so much. But at this time, he had a rough streak of luck. I had trouble imagining a World Cup without him. So
yeah.
I'm
To be
really
fair,
shocked
there
to
are
see it.
63 potential losers in this World Cup. So
Yeah. There's only one.
it's a big pity party when it's over.
I think you're really looking for 63 definite losers.
60% of the time it works every time. That's, yeah.
100% of the time, 63 people are going to lose this World Cup.
Well, I say potential because there could be some moral victories in there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what losers always say, mate. Moral victory. No one who wins claims a moral
I'm just
victory.
going to keep my comment to myself because it's better left that way.
Oh, I'm a horrible person and I'm drunk, so whatever.
Right. So, I do believe we've seen all the console coaches now. I'm just checking to make sure I haven't forgot anybody. So I don't get shot. I don't think.
I might just log out now.
I would be disappointed if you forgot one of your people.
Well, with all the.
I'd even go so far as to call you a racist.
I think they're all done, apart from yours. So let's have a look at your team.
It's okay. My team is uneventful, boring, and
Some
potentially will lose.
Frog. A very interesting name. I don't know if there's any story behind that.
Oh.
So everybody has wondered where the hell my names came from, because the first one I used Razzle Dazzle Root Beer, and right up until the end, everybody's like, what the hell is that? For those of you who do not know antique games, there is a company named Sierra that used to make the most wonderful adventure games. They made King's Quest, Leisure Suit Larry, Space Quest, and of course, Heroes Quest, or later returned Quest for Glory, because Heroes Quest was a registered trademark at the time. Razzle Dazzle Root Beer was the cheat code in the first one, where you could edit your stats, teleport around, etc., etc. And I figured if I was going to win the World Cup, I needed to cheat. So I named my team after a cheat code. Sucked Blue Frog is the closest I could approximate, because suck is a banned word in Blood Bowl. You cannot put it. But if you put any other letter connected to suck, it's fine. So Sucked Blue Frog is the cheat code from the second Quest for Glory, which, of course, is the last one that actually used the cheat code. So it is following suit. It is Razzle Dazzle Root Beer's spiritual successor, and it has some of the names from the original one. One of those things is getting renamed, but I'm just waiting for the admins to do it.
Didn't understand. Go on. Go again. Do it all again.
I think that's as far as you got. It's a cheat code from a game I like.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
So for the other 63 World Cup coaches out there, get a cheat code, you'll win a World Cup.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Such as Gonad the Barbarian there. He got quite the amount of attention in the original World Cup.
Excellent. Right, Yoshi. Do you like this team? Anything you like, anything you don't like, and do you think Guinness could repeat the championship win?
I don't see anything wrong with it. Yeah, I mean, lizards are my bogey team. I always struggle against lizards. I always have. I know the theory, but I just have awful dice. Not sure about the tackle. Other than that, fine. Can't. Yeah,
Durrun?
the skinks are good as they are. You don't really need to add anything to them.
Maybe short
Guard is a nice skill on a. God, my screen's so small. Guard's a nice skill though on those dudes. Yeah, not sure about the tackle. Other than that, sound nice team.
Durrun, what do you think?
Not sure about the path actually, but
I think they're too blue. I'm not a big fan of their tails. Too many teeth on that big guy. I mean,
Racist.
Just call him mute. Like, no. I mean, I'm not a big fan of lizards, but to be fair, lizards, dwarves, orcs, undead are all kind of suffering from the 4 skills of the format. Otherwise, it would be pretty good like all those other teams. But I think it can't go all 4 block just because you have to have some kind of diversity. And he chose tackle, which is what I would have done. And of course, like I said earlier, got the Amazons, he's got the answers, he's got a way to win. Skinks are always a pain in the ass early, and it's an early style format, so the skink should excel. And I like the Apo over the extra skink because anybody can break armor 9 on their best day, right? So if you lose 1 source early, you can probably let it go, but you can't lose 2. So you need a way to bring one.
you're not tempted by diving tackle on one of the skinks.
When it comes to playing lizards, every single person says, yeah, I struggle against lizards. The truth of it is, for strength and stunty, it really can make a difference. And stunty is that, okay, I fucked up completely. I still have a 17% chance to steal the ball and score, whereas any other player would be looking at like 0.4%. Stunty does miracles that other teams have trouble doing. However,
you've never played Skaven, mate. Whoa.
Okay, you look at the exact same situation I had in the World Cup last year, and you ask a Skaven to make the exact same dodge through, he'd have had a much harder time because he was diving into tackle zones to retrieve things. So it would have been at least 2 5+ rolls, and I would have felt bad for any Skaven being asked to do that. Sure, he could have, but I love Skaven. I love Skaven. I hate playing against them because they're really good. What I asked for this build was if the meta's humans and wood elves, lizards are always vulnerable against wood elves, but I've got a tackle to be able to hit things that are blodge. Going up against humans, it's a strength 4 team. Humans always struggle against strength 4 teams. So I was really actually hoping to meet some of the meta build humans with this. Besides, lizards is the only team I know how to play, so that's why they're there.
I love the big long justification, and it's just like, I don't know fuck all else, mate.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
At the end of the day, that's why I picked orcs. They're my best team.
High five.
I would have done orcs on the exact same basis. Yeah.
High five, orc brother.
Yeah.
I mean, the main concern I have with lizards is wood elves, and when I looked at lizards, I was thinking, no matter, look, I'll just draw a wood elf coach, and a 3+ will leap in 2 die. Most times I'm not going to get the ball loose, and that was my main concern, and that was the main thing what put me off going. Obviously, lizards in the end, because they've got all the strength. Like I say, 6 strength 4s, 1 strength 5. Got all of it. You've got stunty, so that's great as well.
We're up against the Canadian. Can't remember the end of the name. Canadian Red Devils. That's it.
I'm going to spell in that.
Just type in CA.
Just put in red. I just typed red.
No, just CA.
There we go. Boom.
Amazon's getting all the love today on this one.
Yeah. Every single Amazon team showcase today.
Yeah, interesting build, isn't it? All that blotch.
It's really straightforward. It was kick elf ass, don't die to dwarves.
Yep.
You'd be traumatized if it had picked two gun against dwarves.
Now, the worst part about this team is it's owned by a fellow person who lives in my town, Vancouver. So guaranteed one person makes top 1 out of 32 from Vancouver. Bad part is only one person from Vancouver makes it to the top 132.
Well, at least you'll have that there.
Nerd Frog is a great player. He was in the NATTS before it collapsed into itself because of the admin that was running it. He's a local Vancouver player. He's extremely capable. He plays in the Spike tournament every year, whereas I usually just go and cheerlead and drink and then buy memorabilia saying I was there. But, I mean, the build's really solid. It's really going to come down to... See, the thing I like about Nerdfrog's build, he built without trying to consider fouling. Every single other Amazon build is a 13-player, I want a foul build. Whereas Nerdfrog is like, I'm going to use pass and catch because my positionals will make me more powerful against woodies, humans, necro, and any other non-strength based team. So he's going to struggle with that with lizards or orcs or anybody else who goes up in the future, or a lot of guard. But he has played against just being able to drill a hole and throw the ball. And with the rerolls, he's got the advantage going into overtime as well if it goes that far.
The flaw here, though, obviously, said when he struggles with guard teams, and human is the dominant meta in this World Cup. So, you know, he should own the humans, but without any guard.
Yeah, the thing is, though, my not worry is if he went up against humans with this team, humans have one tackle. All they're going to do is maybe knock one of those blodgers over every once in a while.
One of those AV7 blodgers every once in a while.
Yeah,
you know, I appreciate that. And with the Mighty Blow, that'll make a difference. But I think if he gets to go on offense first, he'll have a much better chance of scoring. And then defense, his goal is just to stall it out. Whereas if he goes on defense first, he stands a lot more chance of incurring a bunch of casualties. But that would be against humans as opposed to the lizards he's facing.
I get the big skill build and the blodge build. I just don't think Zons were the way humans or orcs could have done this build better.
I can agree with you.
You can't get the full spam of dodge.
They'd get 2 extra skills.
You could get a lot of blodge on humans or orcs if that's what you really want to go for. You could get full blodge on orcs, couldn't you? I think that's what you wanted to do.
No, because you need a bunch of doubles.
4 blitzers.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's doubles, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you did humans, you could do 3 blodge, but still.
Undead, you could go 4 blodge on your ghouls.
Nerdfrog and I have talked a lot leading up to this match, and I've not really asked anything about his playstyle or him beyond just being friendly and being accommodating. But I think that he's going to be a great coach, and that I think that he's probably played Amazons a lot and kind of has the concept around how to play them pretty well.
Okay.
I'm honestly very intimidated to play this team. He's repeatedly trying to make himself play down and look like he doesn't know what he's doing, but I really am intimidated to play against this team. A, it's well built against my team, and B, I always struggle with every team that I play against. So I'm hoping to win, but I would be unsurprised if Nerdfrog overturns me.
Yeah, he's got no great answer to attack anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we're both very defensive-based teams. So,
like he's got
to come down
to out against the skink. Like he's just got to hope he 1 and 3s it, right?
This is
And
like
really, what it is for him is we're gonna worry about 1 in 9s.
this is a pitch control game. This feels like it'll end 1-0.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If you want to count my games against Amazons, Mercy made me look like an idiot. Holy crap! I was very lucky to win the second game against him. I'm not kidding. He made me look like a tool.
The only thing I don't like with this, well, the major thing I don't like about this Amazon team is he's gone for 4 rerolls. To me, I would just go
Is the
with
4 rerolls?
Yeah, because I could drop a reroll and get another lamb woman.
For what? For what though? If you're not, because that's what they were just saying. Is it's not a foul build. So if it's not a foul build, you
but
don't need the extra one. And you got the apostle to bring them back on the
You're
field
only
if they're.
7 and you've got 12. I mean, why do you need 4 rerolls? You've got dodge built in, you've got block built in on
So
most of them. You've got
remember, I
free
said
attacks.
that it was probably built for overtime. I think that's what this team is score 1-1, pull it into overtime, win there.
Yeah.
And
I
if you
mean,
don't- and if you don't
I
get the
never
coin
like
flip,
playing for overtime.
you don't get the
but-
coin flip, sit back. And,
Yeah.
But the
use
chances
them
are,
on
chances
kickoff.
are you've played all them 10s and you're going to take attrition. So,
Likelihood is I can understand why you go for the 13th player. I feel like this team with so much block only needs 3 rerolls.
yeah, I
But
would think so.
I'm very inexperienced with Amazons, and Mercy Flush makes me look like an idiot when I play them, or play against them. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. What just bugs me looking at the team more than anything. I'm just thinking I'm AV7 at Amazon's break a lot. So
Actually, Mercy Flush, I hate to correct you, but NATTS is dead. It has been reincarnated as the BBPN, the Blood Bowl Player Nexus. The admin who owned the thing kind of decided he was going to disband it, and so it got reformed with some other people who were the original admins or the active admins of NATTS. They reformed it to the BBPN, and it's a great place for a lot of people. So everybody's really nice there. I like it.
So there you go. So we've looked at all the teams. We've looked at all the console players. We've looked at all the Amazons as well. So a lot of love the Amazons. I'm going to ask you 2 questions to all of them. I'll start with Durrun first. Can a console player, or I'll rephrase it, will a console player win the World Cup?
Yeah, I've got it on lock, dude. Don't worry about it.
So Durrun claims he will be the new champion. Guinness,
Is Durrun a console player? What?
Guinness,
Durrun is a console player.
Oh, are you? Fucking hell, sorry. I thought you were.
I am going to guess that a PC player will win it simply because the odds are better.
yeah.
There's more of them.
Yeah, and we've already lost
my
console
favorites-
players already.
My favorites to win are not even in the competition.
Mhm.
So
There you go.
Inarion, McMackey, Dark Techno, people that
Little
I
Yoshi.
really feel like I learned how to play the game from,
Mhm.
none of them made it or didn't play because they just weren't interested in playing the World Cup.
Okay. And Yoshi,
So
does a console player win this?
We'll win. No. Hand on heart, no. I can't say that.
Okay.
Just pure numbers, and
Hmm.
we all know that. Yeah, we play this game based on odds.
wait,
so
is Tor 3005 a console player?
Shit, he is. Yeah. Let's quickly have a look. I
Thank
said to forget someone. I said to you to forget someone.
you, Shad, for saving Bernie from utter embarrassment.
is who? Chorfs.
Tor
Oh,
3005.
fuck me. Who's got chorfs?
Oh yeah. That's my potential second round matchup.
Go back into it. What page is he on? Is it on no? Can't find him. Anybody want to shout the
TORE 33005.
yeah, but he never comes up as a coach. Oh man.
Oh, you need to know his team name?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's team name.
It is the in brackets MML Waste Hill Miners. Just look for Waste. As in, what a waste you forgot, or
What a waste of a pick to play chores.
Right, okay, let's go through this quickly then. Torre, he won the MML ticket from the PS4 Private League. If I remember correctly, he actually got beat in the final by Teddy Tom, but Teddy Tom didn't have a proper PC to run it, so he got it as the best runner-up. Chorf's interesting pick. Durrun, like it, don't like it, could have built the team better, or do you think it's a good skill set he's picked?
Well, I don't like chores as a pick for starters. Again, they like a lot of teams, they suffer from only having 4 skills. They really need 5 to really kind of light them up. I'm not a big fan of the minnow, but I'm just not a big fan of the minnow in general. But I kind of get why you take it. He just wants to be strong because there's not a lot of strength in this tournament because we all knew we weren't going to see any chaos or Nurgle, and that chaos dwarves would be limited probably, as would probably Norris or Lizards. Like, there's just not a lot of strength teams that are going to play given the format. So we just wanted to probably go all in more on the strength. The glaring thing though is the 1 guard. It just needs more guard, but I mean, what are you going to do? He got 4 skills, and he decided to go right tackle sure hands on a bull instead of making a hobgoblin a sure hands blocker. But again, you probably don't want to put 2 skills on a hobgoblin.
No.
So. And 2 rerolls is risky as hell.
Yeah.
But he could very well put leader on the minnow, or not the minnow, but maybe the other bull. Probably not actually put the lead. Could take a leader on a dwarf maybe if he wins. But he's probably going to be tempted to take claw since he's going to have to play me. So.
Yeah, it's Choff doesn't look that appealing to me, and obviously by taking the Mano, you've only got 2 team rerolls, you've only got 11 players.
I mean, 2 team rerolls is acceptable on this build because if you look at it, everything has block. The most you're going to worry about is a couple short 1 in 36s that are going to happen. And when he's trying to pick it up with the Bull Centaur, who already has sure hands, he's not looking to use the rerolls for pickups. He's looking to put it on a Bull Centaur to make it harder to blitz. I really, really never liked the Minotaur because I think he's kind of a fragile big guy. But he's going up against Norse, who don't have a Yeti, so it may prove the right choice for the first rant.
Yeah, but that's just the first game. I mean, a couple of extra linos, strip the apothecary out.
Well, you don't get to
Much
change it
better
after
team.
this.
No,
You
no,
only
that's
get
what
to
I
add
mean. That's what I
skills.
mean. So he's took a lineup that's good for a game, not a whole playoff. And I agree.
And the
with
fact that he's playing with 2 hobos and he could have stripped out the Minotaur for a couple extra for fouls.
Exactly.
Like, I much would have preferred to see a fouling Chorf team.
Yeah,
Chaos Dwarves like to foul. It's in their playbook.
I mean, hell, I might have skipped one of the skills just to give Dirty Player to a hobo because that would be hilarious.
It's possible, honestly. It's possible you would want to do that. If you could stretch it to 13 and put Dirty Player on a hobo, why not?
Yeah.
And especially when you're looking at so much tackle with the Wood Elf meta and a human meta. Like, that's not a bad idea. So, unfortunately, Dirty Player is a doubles for me, and I don't think I'll take it on a skink.
No.
It's just the way it is.
No. I mean, like I said, I think I just don't like the Mino. I think that really unbalances this team. If he didn't take the Mino, I think this team would be much better.
I mean, in all fairness, we're not looking at the Dwarf team with a Death Roller either. Although, total props, I really want to see that one win like 1 game.
Shout out to my boy Striker. I'm with you, but I didn't pick
Someone done that? Really?
Yes.
Jesus fucking wet. Yeah, big up, mate. If you win.
I didn't want to name names. Sorry,
if you
Striker.
win,
we're streamer buddies. We give each other shit all the time.
If he wins, then secret tech. But Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
we want to kick off the bet he's hoping for.
Yeah.
However, we were brilliantly lucky to see him teamed up against the Norse because I think the Norse could have handled a lot of teams, but I think they'll have real trouble with this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't get my head around it.
Although-
As a Yeti.
Total props for the Norse name. Nips out for Niffle. I love that.
I just can't understand. There's no Yeti. I just can't get my head around it. Frenzy, Claw, Mighty Blow. You can have all that shenanigans.
I think I can explain the Yeti, and it's because if he adds the Yeti, he's probably in the same situation as Chaos Dwarfs bench.
He would have had to pull out an Ulf to make it happen, and it would have been a 12-player roster.
And he's got 2 rerolls, let's not forget, so it would have been 12 still.
I don't know. I just think
It's not like you're going to use a reroll on the Yeti anyway, unless you're desperate, and at that point, something's already going wrong.
Well, no, not for the Yeti per se, but just obviously all the block makes your team a little better, but you've got 0 ball handling skills, right?
Even then, against a human Wood Elf meta, the Yeti isn't exactly what you're going to throw around.
No.
So, the fact that he's going up against Chorfs makes him look like an idiot for not taking it. But
yeah, well, if it's like maybe Wood Elves won't bat an eyelid.
Wood Elves would have just laughed at a Yeti.
Interestingly, though, True Blue, the Norse guy, is 73% favourite to win it. So everybody's on the Norse train.
Well, it's probably got something to do with the Chaos Dwarf team, the build. Like, it's just no bench, 2 rerolls as well.
Yeah.
Only
Expecting
the
the
2
Bull Centaur to do the work carrying.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's break tackle and sure hands instead of block at sure hands.
So that he can even just feed red dice and try and get it loose.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey-ho.
And you got a stripper who dives in and does red dice on it. Who cares?
We all
Yeah.
like strippers. So
I'm Canadian, of course.
The Norse team just has more ways to win, basically.
You realize in Canada, none of us take off our clothes unless it's for money, right?
that's fun.
Yeah, it's too cold.
We die of exposure. Inside, too. God damn it.
Well, not today, though. God, I'm dying in the fucking heat over here. East Coast is roasting.
Apparently, it says here, True Blue is the Rookie League qualifier. So there you go. So who wins this game then? Durrun, you going for Norse, I presume?
I picked the Norse, yeah.
Guinness?
I, for some reason, picked the Chorfs. I have to look again why. I don't know either of the coaches very well. True Blue's been really awesome to talk to since I started looking on stream and following the World Cup and did broadcast for half a match. He's been chatty and awesome, but I don't really know either of the coaches for their play style.
Right, okay. Yoshi?
I think I'll go Norse.
Okay, and I'll go Chorfs because I know for a fact that Torre is an extremely good coach. If I had to pick one of these 2 teams, though, I'd be tempted to go Norse just because of the numbers, but...
I just think that one guard is going to make a difference.
Yeah, could possibly be, so there you go.
And there's no such thing as a blodge runner on this team against Chorfs.
No.
Yeah, it's true. If he uses the guard right, he could set up some pretty sweet frenzy traps.
Yeah, the Blodge is a waste of a skill actually in that matchup.
But again, you don't know who you're going to go against, so that's just the way it is. So that is now all the PS4 teams done. We've asked about the console winner.
Thank you, Shad.
Yeah, good job someone was awake. So my last question before we shut the show is, which console player will get the furthest? We'll come to Durrun, but I presume it'll be you because you've already said you're going to win the World Cup.
Well, in a more serious statement, I think it's either me or Shad had the best chance to make the money, which is round 3.
But do you think that's
Like our
what we'll
paths,
get?
potential teams we go through. Like I said, I get the winner of the Norse Orc team, right? Which is not bad for Orcs at all.
No.
And Shad is find him. There, yeah, he's got that ridiculous Necro team, and then he gets another Necro team or human team, which Wood Elves could easily beat. So I think he's got a really good shot to money as well.
Just breaking news coming in. Azerwin's game will be Thursday at 6 p.m. GMT. So,
Oh yeah, I guess Azerwain's got a really good shot too. He's heavily favored against the Dwarves because of the build, and then he plays another human team 100% the next game. So I guess he's got a pretty decent shot to win too.
So who was picking, Durrun? Which one? Pick one. Who's going the furthest?
Well, the safest bet's Azerwain, is it not? Just
Mhm.
resume.
Well, Azerway is in almost an entire branch of human teams. So as long as he gets through Marvel, he's got identical matchups for the most part until semis or quarters. Sorry.
Yeah.
So are you going for Azwin as well?
I'm between. I'm just looking at the last branch to see who's there. My issue is that Durrun has a chance of going up against. Is that what the heck is that? Chorf? I don't know. Tor, yeah, Chorf. I don't think the Chorfs are going to do a lot of damage to Durrun. I'm expecting Durrun to make it to at least the quarterfinals. I'm expecting Arsway to make it to at least the quarterfinals too. And Shad, I think, is almost guaranteed to make quarterfinals unless Thessa beats the Necros and gets crazy cast dice against him. So I'm expecting one of those three to at least make it to the top 8, but I couldn't tell you which one because I don't want to do the brain analysis in my head of each leg for a 1-minute question.
Well, just toss a coin. Just pick one.
I'll go for Shad then.
Shot. Oh, Shot will be delighted. He says, "Please don't tip me. He'll love you for that." Yoshi, which coach goes the furthest?
You ever got left out of Xbox Boys?
Drick. And
Drick and Blade.
Oh, it'd be nice to see Drick do well too.
It's out of those two, it's Drick. No disrespect to Blade at all, but Drick.
Drick's got
And
the toughest, right?
I think you're going to win the whole thing, Bernie.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, you know.
I mean, if your luck's the same as the invitational rolls. Just gonna say right there.
Well, he's got
Let's
all the
be
dice.
honest.
That's all you need. You don't need skill. You don't need.
Yeah, but I think he might have used them
Just-
all up in the invitational.
just
He might
needs all
not
the
be able to
dice.
go past that.
So Bernie's well on.
That's the real match we want in the third round is Bernie versus Jimmy, not Andy versus Jimmy.
Yeah,
Shut down that false hype.
I'm kind of doubting Jimmy's gonna make it past round 1.
No, I didn't pick them. I'm like, this is
What?
I mean,
why
it's-
I don't understand.
It's not a slag, but it's Woodies against dwarves, and it's a good dwarf coach.
yeah.
Like a
That's
very good dwarf
that's
coach.
the caveat. It's an actual, real good dwarf.
Oh, right, that makes more sense.
He plays crazy amounts of dwarves in the CCL, and he plays dwarves in his league.
So just to clarify, you're not slagging Jimmy off, but you're saying he
Not
could
at
be-
all. Not at all. I'm the same.
But he can't be a
opinion
good
that
coach.
Jimmy-
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, Jimmy and I already talked about this on his stream. He thinks he's going to lose because of the dwarves.
I'm
'Cause
putting
I
the
think
numbers
he's going to lose
Yeah, but what
because
you
of the
said is-
dwarves.
He's going to lose because he can't beat a good coach. That's what you said.
I did not say that.
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but that's what he said.
So we heard it.
I did not in any way insult Jimmy as a coach.
So what?
I might
Actually,
insult him as a lover. I might insult him as a streamer, but never as a coach. No, serious love to Jimmy. He's been kind of nice to me over the past little while. VGP was super claiming to be my bestest buddy, but I'd like to just disagree with that for now and just leave it at that.
Oh God! I thought there was drama on the consoles, but wow.
Honestly, there's just some very, very weird things that people make the decisions to say and do, and I think they really need to re-examine themselves as people.
But he's Batman.
Not just as game players, as people. Wow.
No, I think some people need to go to therapy.
That's next level. Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with their coaching ability or anything else.
They might be
Some
good
people
players.
need
They might be
therapy.
good players. They're bad people.
I went to therapy. I liked it. It helped me a little bit. I'm still messed up, but it's helped me. And I think there's a lot of other people out there that I recognize who could use some. More than just goddamn cocoa and marshmallows.
Fantastic. It can only.
Fantastic. Oh,
It can only happen.
no, I've actually really enjoyed watching Jimmy stream the past couple days. I miss Fashbinder because he was so much fun, but yeah, I've enjoyed Jimmy's stream the past couple days that I've been watching it for commentary and stuff like that. Go Jimmy! I'll be cheering for you against the dwarves, but I think the dwarves are a Quebec guy, so I have to cheer for him too, and I think he's just gonna rock that. So Yeah.
Interesting. So I only asked who personally would win
Well,
the best
look at you.
console.
You know full well what you're asking.
And now
Start in trouble.
we've got an Aaron's a loser, Ben is a looker. Well, that's probably true. And he hates Jimmy. Jimmy can't play a good coach.
I do not
Mhm.
hate
Yeah.
Jimmy
Jimmy.
can't be any good coach. No, you
That's what
heard
he
it here.
I just
You heard
I
it
just
here
poop
first.
I just poop on his work desk. I don't hate him.
So there you go. I personally think it's a coin toss between Drick and Arzawin, but because I've got a sneaky suspicion that Drick game could be a shock, I'm going to say Arzawin's going to go all the way. But I will state this about Arzawin: the last 3 sea ladder competitions, he's gone out first round.
I'd like to see a console player in the top 4.
Well,
Period.
Arzawin and Drick, I think, is our best chance. And I can't tip Shod because Shod told me not to tip him because...
Actually, the one I'm really disappointed about, just for the record, is the fact that Sage's Undead are playing against Kemri.
Ooh, he could be out, man. He really could go out first round, no joke.
Yeah, and I'd be disappointed to see that. Plus side is that I wouldn't have to play him, so yay, but I'd be disappointed because I like Sage.
I even picked Kemri because the matchup is just horrible. And the guy's going to, apparently, his build says he's just going to go right at him. So
yeah, his build is literally dicey as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that game could be over on
this
turn
game's
2.
not about dice, is it? So yeah,
Nope. It's literally the Mummy Mash, but with 3 different contenders.
Just to let you know, the Blood Bowl Quebec crew, they're dwarfs. They just beat Claws and Teeth 2-1. What's a Skaven team? So, there you go.
What? I gotta watch that now.
Crikey, 78 blocks versus 60.
Wait. Blood Bowl Quebec crew? That's Mr. Light. Yes!
So
Mr. Light. I think I picked Mr. Light.
Mr. Light is my favorite.
Well, he's won. So he's
he was like 80% favorite on the board.
Oh,
so.
it's dwarves against Skaven in low TV. Of course, dwarves are going to kick them around.
Yeah, you say that though, but
I know. It's possible anything could happen, but I am really glad to see Mr. Light do well.
Was that the Rat Ogre with Juggernaut? Was that Skaven?
I don't know, but they both did 3 injuries.
Let me just check.
They actually both did the same amount of injuries, and the dwarves only did 2 more KOs more. So the rats did as good as they could have hoped, really.
That was not the Juggernaut Rat Ogre team.
By the looks of it, they just stood there and smashed each other.
Yeah, this might have gone to overtime.
That sounds like playing against Malik. Holy crap. Base all mans, punch till tomorrow. Yay.
So there you go.
I mean,
Sounds
it's
like
a
a
good idea
horrible way to
for
play
dwarves,
rats,
but
though.
Jesus, while the rats were doing it, yeah.
So there you go. Anyway, we are done. God knows on the
Thank you for a very entertaining afternoon.
Yes, it's only
Afternoon. It's fucking 1:40 in the morning here.
Yeah, well, it's still afternoon here. Yay.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you, mate. I've got to get up in the middle. Fucking meeting.
I'm at work tomorrow.
All right.
Sorry, that sounded horrible. It was really lovely. Sorry, it was lovely to meet you. Both.
So, in backwards effect, fuck a duck.
No, I thought we all agreed. Fuck Jimmy, isn't it? That's why we got to.
No, Jimmy's pretty awesome.
Guinness was saying
he's fantastic.
I mean, that's good.
Jimmy is fantastic. He'll tell you that sooner than anybody else.
Yeah, well, okay.
We like Jimmy, really. We love Jimmy.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't used to, but he's growing on me, so I'm thinking I like him a little more than I used to.
I like his streams.
There you go. So
yeah, he's entertaining.
That's as far as I'm going.
We'll finish on a positive that everybody loves Jimmy. Thanks for all my guests for coming on, Durrun, Little Yoshi, and obviously the champ Guinness. Thanks for everybody in the chat. That's us done, and don't forget, stay fantastic. Speak till See you later, guys.
Stay buffed. Stay buffed.
Oh no, say biffed. Say biff on. Say biffed. No, they all sound rude.